This is the One Piece Podcast, episode 560 for the week of Monday, March 10th, 2019. My name is Zach.
My name is Ed.
My name is Steve.
And my name is Alex.
Hey guys, we have a very special guest, translator for One Piece and Weekly Shonen Jump, and in Manga Plus, we have Stephen Paul with us. How's it going, Stephen?
Hey guys, loving that lack of sleep on this wonderful daylight savings day.
Yes, the most useless holiday. You know, that's a topic for another time. Or this time.
I don't know why you guys would be excited about that. This is so weird.
Also on this podcast, we're going to have SungWon Cho. You may also know him as ProZD on Twitter. We're going to talk to him all about his history for One Piece. We have a full, just about an hour discussion with him, talking about One Piece and more One Piece. So look forward to that. We also have a manga recap of chapter 935, whose name is, I'm about to find out, I'll tell you that. I am not stalling for time. It's Queen. How could I not remember that? I'm going to do that. There's no anime recap this week. Was the anime off this week? Or
yes.
Sam's not around? Yeah, I didn't know that. But I'm going to try and be on the anime recap soon, because here is the transition to some news. The anime will be entering the Reverie arc on March 31st. Now, if you don't want spoilers, obviously don't listen to the titles I'm about to say. The World in Shock, the Fifth Emperor of the Sea arrives. That's 878.
Who could that be?
And then... and then
mom.
I knew it. And then to the Reverie Gathering of the Straw Hat Allies. That's on April 7th. So that's going to be really exciting. And... Alex and Steve mentioned before I started that I did not get to come on most of those manga chapters because I was getting married at the time. So now I get to actually talk about those. So hopefully I will be able to be on all of those anime recaps. So looking forward to that.
Way to get married, nerd.
Yeah.
You got the bad side of the trade in that one.
Yeah, I did. Married Reverie chapter manga
You
recaps.
got married, and I just get to have loads and loads of One Piece collectibles to myself.
I also have those. Not enough, but anyway, we also recently posted on our website the English voice cast for episode of Sabo has been announced. This is notable since we have not heard anything about season 10 from Funimation. They had no comment as of my last asking them about what the status is at the moment. So this is like that little bit drip of new One Piece dub that we could look forward to. I know, Steve, you're our resident expert. Did you have a chance to...
Jerry Jewell is Caesar Clown, so that's exciting.
Yeah.
Casey isn't.
What?
I know.
Casey wasn't cast as Caesar Clown.
Oh,
Shame.
wow.
Yeah.
That's a huge shame.
Yeah.
Well, the only reason why that's really funny is because Casey was in Texas, I think, a couple years ago, and he started that fake rumor mill.
I forgot that. Yeah.
But yeah, it's an interesting cast. I think it's a lot of there's some reoccurring voice actors that are playing new roles. Like Tyson Reinhardt is the voice of Bartolomeo, and he's
looking forward to that.
Previous characters. There's a lot of new blood who they've done some like one-off like characters, background voices, but a lot of them this is like their first major roles in One Piece. So it's gonna be interesting. I'm looking forward to that release when it comes out in a couple weeks.
This is almost like this is the closest equivalent to Unlimited Adventure we have in the current dub age, where there's like we're having a drought of One Piece dubs. So now we get to see everything far in the future of where we actually are in the One Piece dub. So looking forward to it. Yeah. Ed, did you have any other thoughts on it?
No, I'm excited to get the Blu-ray. I enjoyed the 3D 2Y for what it's worth. The dub was pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. So let's get started first with our interview with SungWon Cho. Alex, ready to take it away?
Sure am. Hey everybody, it's me, Alex. Welcome to Romance Dawn, the segment where we talk to a guest about their experience with One Piece. Are they caught up? They could be. They don't have to be. But this is one of my favorite segments, of course, because we get to go into the origin of why a certain individual enjoys One Piece. I have with me, of course, the rest of our crew. Say hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Great. Okay, so Zach, Steve, Ed, and today we have a very special guest. He is a voice actor and a YouTube person. You might know him as ProZD, but you might also know him by his name, SungWon Cho. Hello, SungWon.
Yo, what up?
What up yourself? We're particularly happy to have you. We've sort of known that you were a One Piece fan for quite a long time.
Sure.
Yeah. So thanks for coming on.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think this has been in the works for a while, but I'm glad to finally hop on and shoot the shit about some Uno Piece.
Great. Well, let's get things started, as the Muppets like to say. So,
What color are we starting with? Blue, red, yellow, green? I'll shut up.
Steve, I never want you to shut up.
But I'll shut up. Let's start the segment.
Anyway, let's start the segment.
Let's start the SBS. So, SungWon, how did you first get into One Piece? What's your One Piece origin?
Like my first exposure to it?
Yeah.
The 4Kids dub was my first exposure to it, but I'll be truth be told, when I saw that for the first time, I was like, this shit is dumb. Like, because it was the 4Kids dub, it didn't really do it any favors. I guess my first real exposure to it was I decided to read the manga way back when. And my journey with One Piece is interesting because I read it up to Skypiea and just totally fell off of it. This was a long time ago. I would say like early high school, like 14, 15 or something like that. And I remember the exact moment where I stopped. It was, what was his name? Satori, the ball guy. I was like, fuck this. I was like, this is the dumbest shit ever. And then I stopped.
A kindred spirit here.
Right. Okay. So,
oh, no, but he is so annoying. Anyway, go ahead. He does.
Because I really liked Arabasta, and then Skypiea, I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting, I guess. And then he appeared, and I was like, I'm out. I'm out on this. So I kind of went away from it for a while.
That's actually a very fun fight, though. That's a fun fight.
And then
He sucks.
you know
though.
how
He's
like with a manga you stop reading, you'll still like read the wiki sometimes, be like, oh, what's going on with Naruto? Like, I didn't finish Naruto, but Naruto's got kids now, let's check up on Naruto.
Yeah, I did that with Bleach, actually.
Sure, right, because nobody finished Bleach. So pretty much. But One Piece, I kind of like was like keeping up with, what's happening, and Impel Down happened, and I was like, oh shit, oh Crocodile's back, oh you're bringing back Bon Clay and shit,
Right.
and then
stopped reading Bleach in 2007.
when Marineford happened, and I found out that like Ace dies. Should we have I mean, if you're listening to this, you are probably already know the spoilers already. Okay, I was like, oh shit. Like, I need to actually get back into this. Because for me, back when I was, like, a kid, what annoyed me a lot of the times was they do those fake-out deaths. That, oh, my God, what is his name in Arabasta? Pell.
Infamous Pell.
Right. That one was all... Well, I didn't get that far, but Pell, I was like, all right, no one's going to die in this, I guess, unless you're in a flashback. That one was particularly bad because they set it up as this big sacrificial moment, and then he walks back out to the grave or whatever
and
at the
Pagaya
end.
and Skypiea.
So I was like, there's no... What's the point? But then when I heard that they actually killed off a major character, that piqued my interest. That, and they were bringing back characters from previous arcs. So that's when I decided to just jump into the anime, which I actually really, really liked. I think listening to the voice acting helped a lot to really get attached to stuff, but also I kind of went into it knowing some spoilers and going, this, like, instead of having to suffer through, like, some really goofy early shit without any promise of, like, better stuff, like, I knew about some of the better stuff that was coming. So that kind of got me excited to get to that good stuff. But yeah, that's sort of my journey from 4Kids dub to now. And now I'm completely caught up on the manga. I'm not caught up on the anime. I stopped, I think, in... Oh, shit, when did I stop?
Dressrosa?
No, I actually got through Dressrosa amazingly.
Wow.
Here's another thing. I actually didn't read the manga until... Well, besides that Skypiea stretch, up to Skypiea, I didn't read anything until Dressrosa because I was watching the anime, and Dressrosa got so bad in the anime that I was like, all right, I'm going to read the manga now. And since then, I've basically been reading the manga. I think I stopped in... I didn't get the whole cake, so I think I must have stopped in Zo. Not because I didn't even like it, but I just kind of got distracted and never got back to it.
It's time-consuming.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially because that was that period where they were doing like 3-minute recaps at the beginning, and it's really stretching that shit out. There was like one scene in Zo where Luffy just jumps on a bridge to mess with them for like 5 minutes, and it's not in the manga. I was like, is this in the manga? No, it's not. They literally just had him jump on a bridge to bother them because they needed 5 minutes of time for this episode. And I was like,
short,
woof.
actually.
This is rough. So manga is basically where I'm sticking with at this point.
Right. Yeah. So, man, that's quite the origin, I gotta say.
Yeah.
When you first watched the 4Kids dub, did how awful it was, combined with the 4Kids reputation, sort of lead you to seek out the source material?
I don't remember what it was that made me seek out the manga. I mean, because I watched that pretty young. Did you guys watch the 4Kids dub?
So, I was in college when it aired.
Okay.
2004. I was already a pretty big One Piece fan, and then I heard that it was coming to America, and
Sure.
I'm like, well, I'll check this out. I'll give 4Kids the benefit of the doubt. I watched Pokemon like crazy when I was in middle and high school. So I did watch the first, maybe, I don't know, 9 or so episodes of the 4Kids dub, and then I sort of just kept up with how bad it was via clips from the internet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there?
And you were already.
Oh, go ahead. I've seen that Twitter. That's great.
It's great.
There's some great notes on that.
I didn't realize quite what I was missing in the 4Kids. Wow. It's just,
Some of it's really bad.
wow.
But Alex, you were already familiar with the Japanese version
No,
or even like the Greek version,
Twitter
so like you
devoted to
knew
that
what
now.
One Piece
There's a
was
Twitter devoted
supposed to
to
sound
the-
like, right?
Four
Yeah,
kids, one
yeah.
piece.
No,
Yeah, the main character's name is Drake.
Drake, that's right.
Well, at least just to share my experience, because I was already
lucky to get
reading
in
One Piece
through
and
the
Jump,
manga
and
episodes, I guess.
when they announced that 4Kids was doing the dub, it was met with a lot of dread because I was a fan of Shaman King, and that dub wasn't so hot.
Yeah.
And I remember that Anime Insider that said like, no, we're gonna make this a faithful dub. We're gonna.
That's right.
We have to make some edits, but we're gonna be as faithful as we can. And I had yet to watch the Japanese version, so like I wasn't aware that from the get go, the intro when they're doing the Gold Roger thing right before the rap, I thought I'm like, okay, this is the We Are that we saw at that trade show, and
Which
then
is a
turned to the
great. It's a great version. I actually
It is.
really like that version.
Oh, the 4Kids
Yeah,
We Are.
the 4Kids We Are. I like that. I mean, the lyrics are not exactly faithful, but I think it like it's cute. It's like catchy and cute. I actually really like that version.
Yeah, it's We Are. I mean, you can't really go wrong with it.
Right.
Let's be honest.
I think it's
But so I only
better.
at the time I was only familiar with We Are from that crappy little video, so I had no idea that it was setting me up for failure.
Oh, the storm that was coming. Yeah.
Yeah, like I had
it's
no
as good as
idea
the
they
Funimation version.
digitally edited Luffy's mouth closed, but I do know for a fact when Kobe was like, don't hit me. And Luffy's like, I'm not going to hit you. Who would want to hit you? And I'm like, no, he hit him in the manga. I know this. This dub is bad.
Is there a Buggy the Clown song? I like vaguely remember this.
Wait, what?
Is there not a Buggy the Clown musical part? I could totally be misremembering and mixing it with some other 4Kids.
Probably the only thing that probably comes close is just like the chant his crew does when they're like preparing the buggy balls.
Oh,
like
maybe.
the cannon.
Okay,
I think that's the only thing.
I think that
I
was
am
like
happy.
one.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I'm happy we got to the point where we could laugh at this versus it being literally the only legal option.
Can you imagine if they were in like Dressrosa now?
Oh my god.
That'd be incredible, actually. Like, I kind of wish I could see the 4Kids version of, because they skipped Laboon, right? So
and
they did.
And Little Garden, yeah.
Oh yeah.
They needed to fast track Chopper
been 10
because
years. We can-
Chopper's the moneymaker.
Yeah, the angry deep voice Chopper.
How far did they get?
They got to through, and they even skipped some post Alabasta filler, but the last thing they did was Rainbow Mist.
It skipped
Which
Little
one?
Garden.
I didn't watch the filler. Which one is that?
Okay, it's post Alabasta. There's a big chunk of post Alabasta filler. They skipped the Goat Island arc. They skipped most of the character backstory ones, but they did the Zoro one.
Yeah, me neither. I've never watched that.
Just say this in general to fellow One Piece fans. Rainbow Mist, I think it's a lot better than people give it credit for.
I'll take your word for it. I'm still probably never going to watch
15
it.
episodes.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I'm with you there.
I still don't defend One Piece filler that much, but I had rewatched it in the last year, and we wound up watching all of it in one night, and I was like, wow, that was a pretty easy watch compared to other One Piece filler.
One Piece filler on the whole is better than a lot of other shonen filler. Bleach, well, they're all bad.
Zach is a big fan of the Garlic Jr. saga.
Oh, love it.
God.
God, it was just amazing.
Yeah, I think that One Piece 4Kids out of context Twitter posted the very last thing that they that the dub did, and it's when the giant galleon falls from the sky, to lead up to Skypiea.
Sure.
Yeah. Wow. So when you went back to the manga, I guess you went back to the beginning to read what you've missed, or
no?
Did you just?
I just jumped. I looked up what episode and what chapter matched, and I just read from there.
Oh wow!
There was a lot of hate reading because I was like, "Wow, that episode blew. Let's see how the manga did it so much better in way less time." Oh, that's way better.
Yeah. There are people who have. There are people who have.
I have a friend who I think only watches it, and I think is caught up. Now, from what I hear, Whole Cake is much better. But like Dressrosa, seeing
it's actually kind of hard
Bellamy
to imagine someone
bounce around
sticking
for
with
10
One Piece
episodes.
Just
like,
with the
I
anime
was like,
in the
holy
last
shit,
few
guys!
years.
Like, come on, this is
So-
bad.
Minded. Yeah.
We famously don't really like Dressrosa in the manga either.
Okay.
Just because it's it's still paced pretty badly, even in the manga, I think. And watching it in the anime, I can't even imagine. Every once in a while I will tune in to see how the anime did such and such scene in the manga.
Sure.
Because I really like the voices and I like the background music, and the anime really knocks a couple really key moments out of the park, I think.
Right. Yeah, I've seen clips. Like, I've seen, Big Mom's musical number. I've seen, I think, some Katakuri stuff. And, yeah, they do... I say this all the time, but God, if One Piece had, I don't know, Madhouse doing it or something.
Yeah.
I wish.
Doing, cores or something. Oof. Not even cores, but just taking their time, not having to worry about pumping it out every week.
I mean, if it were
Madhouse
paced,
did a good job with Hunter x Hunter, so I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Madhouse could do it, I think. But
if it were paced like a JoJo or a My Hero Academia, or if it were put into seasons or arcs and then they stopped
Sure.
for a while, it would I can't imagine how good the anime could be. There's a lot of potential there that is mostly squandered, especially as of late. I mean, the early stuff I think they did a pretty good job with, but here we are.
Right. Like, I always, like, think about the fight animation in One Piece, and while the fights themselves are good because Oda is good, there's not that many fights that like blow me away animation wise. Whereas I think back to like Naruto and some of the fight choreography and animation and some of the bold choices and shit. Like, it's really hard to compare. Like, I'd rather have like not eight, but like a couple not so good episodes of One Piece and then blow me away with like this fight or whatever. But to me, it just kind of feels like all of it is pretty okay. Sometimes very bad.
Yeah.
It also depends on the arc, though. I think like Water 7 was like one of the, like I loved that in the anime. But nowadays, you know.
No, I know what you mean. So let's see here. Favorite character? This can be
Zoro.
There we go. Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard that Z.
Yeah, Zoro.
Right.
Yeah, Zoro's the shit. I do like Jinbei a lot too.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can also throw in a non-straw hat too, and I think it's sort of confirmed that Jinbei is gonna be the 10th member now.
I think he basically is, but I feel like it's not until he's in cover spreads. I can't like be like, yes, he is the 10th Straw Hat, because there are so many people who are allied with them. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, 100%.
So until I see, and I would love to see Jinbei in some color spreads, in the merch layouts, in things like that. Otherwise, he's like their very good friend for me right now. But I don't know if I can call him 100%, yes, one of the Straw Hat core crew.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy because Vivi was in color spreads during
Right.
Her stint.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
A lot of
Law and color spreads.
Yeah, he was in
some,
a couple.
but-
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, he was in a few. Some were kind of more like related to, this is the current story. These are all like the main players.
He
But
had
was in,
the swimming one where they're all
I mean,
on.
it's
Yes.
never really been in
Yeah.
doubt that she was a member of the crew.
The thing about Jinbei is you don't
accepted.
because the plot has been so chugging at a pretty high speed in the past couple arcs. You don't get to see Jinbei just kind of hanging out with them. You know what I mean? You don't get to see like, what is each crew member's dynamic with Jinbei. With Vivi, I remember they kind of had some downtime here and there where she could kind of just hang with them. So that's also why partially I feel like Jinbei doesn't feel like a Straw Hat, because like I can pair any other Straw Hats together and be like, I know their dynamic. I know how they hang out. But Jinbei is like their cool grandpa that they see every now and then, and it's awesome, but it's not their regular crew. I would love for him to be, though. Right.
They all.
they all, damn it.
Oh man, that's part of what we do here, beating each other to the punch with Simpsons references.
Who's your least favorite character
In all of One Piece?
in all of One Piece?
Yeah,
He's the-
I don't know.
One Piece.
Satori kind of
Grandma's
stopped you
famous
from
jazz
reading or
Satori, I
watching.
think. So he had a twin later? Fuck that, man.
Yeah.
He had,
He had two
two
twins.
twin brothers.
They're
Oh,
triplets.
yeah.
I think I blocked the third one out of my memory. Okay.
What about Wanzi, who's voiced by the same guy and sounds the
Wanzi.
same?
And
Wanzi was the
Zach.
chef guy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
the
ramen.
ramen Kenpo.
He's
He
way
was
better than
Relatively
Satori.
benign compared to Satori, who came back like 3 times, and I hated
They were
that guy.
triplets.
So I'm going to say Satori for sure.
Good answer. Yeah.
Yeah, Zach has a I don't know. He just has this weird hatred for Wanze that I don't get.
He's in like one episode. Like,
No, I
roller
only hate him in the anime. Not in the manga. It's that voice actor. Although that voice actor also does Beppo, and I do love Beppo. So I don't know. It's the same voice though as Satori.
Do you like Mr. Nine?
Yeah, because that's.
I have no opinion about Mr. Nine. I'm just gonna say that flat out.
Is he the crown guy? I forget.
Yeah, he was
Okay.
the Austin Powers one. Poor bastard didn't even get a Vivre card.
I don't even remember that one.
No, Miss Monday.
No, Ms. Wednesday is Vivi, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Nine becomes a cooler character, I think, in like the background than he was in the foreground.
I think we're talking too much about Mr. Nine. Let's move on from Mr. Nine.
No, we're not talking
any
enough.
more time spent on
married
Mr.
to
Nine
Miss
is
Wednesday,
wasted,
isn't he?
I think, in this
They got a kid
podcast.
together. It's
Yeah.
Monday. They got a kid together.
He's not wrong.
Yeah. That's
Oh right,
good point.
He was originally.
Now we'll move on to our Mr. Nine segment of the podcast.
Oh God! If we had a Mr. I mean, I don't know. There are worse characters.
Go ahead.
On,
I'm sorry.
I'll be honest.
I've lingered too long on it.
But I feel
It's
like
okay.
Oh, and I'm talking about Mr. Nine. I feel like Mr. Nine is just boring though. Like there are
Yes.
more characters that are more annoying. Mr. Nine is. What did he do? He was a guy.
He
Did
was
have
just
a
some
gun?
guy.
He had two.
Oh yeah, he
Baseball
had the
bats.
clubs, the
Baseball
baseball bats. Yeah.
He was a loving tribute to Austin Powers.
Did he
Was
have
he?
Austin Powers' voice in the 4Kids dub?
No, he was voiced by Mike Sinner-Nicholas.
Oh,
so
yeah,
he just
yeah.
sounded
Yeah,
like
that's
Dean
right.
Venture. I'm glad we spent so much time talking
Yeah,
about
clubs.
Mr. Nine.
Yeah.
Me too.
This is my fault. I've ruined the segment.
No. We can pick it back up. SungWon, what's your favorite One Piece moment? Like, if you can narrow it down to one
Oh God, favorite One Piece moment?
or two. I don't know. Like something that really makes you like think about the series, like, and why you love it so much.
I mean, damn. Impelled Down, a lot of that was just. Well, that's not my favorite. Although I think my favorite arc is like that Impelled Down Marineford stuff.
Yeah.
But moments, I mean, just going to my core, the arc that was I like when I was watching the anime again, or not again, but watching it for the first time. The arc that solidified, like, oh, I'm on board. Like, I'm not just trying to get through this. I'm on board as Arlong Park. And so it's, that iconic, she stabs herself in the arm, and then Luffy's like, I'm going to go fuck him up. Like, that moment, I think, really, it's just so good. And, because I'll just say this, like, Usopp Island arc, I hate that arc. Like, I think that arc is way too long for what it is, and that villain sucks, and his just everything about that arc is annoying to me. But and like what's there's like Buggy, which is fine. It's whatever.
There's Baratier after that.
I like Baratier more than Usopp Island anyway.
I like calling it Usopp Island. I think we should do that.
That's
for
what
now.
I'm calling it. I forget what the
I think
actual
that's
name
what
of the island
Usopp
is.
calls it.
It's it's Syrup Village, right? That's the
Syrup Village, yeah.
No, it's Usopp Island. So anyway,
I like
Usopp
that,
Island.
Which has good
That-
Zoro parts, but
There's
depends
a
on
lot
how you
of
feel
that I
about
just
Sanji.
do not like at all.
It's like the shittiest part of a theme park.
Cool. No,
No, go ahead.
please answer the question, because that's totally a segue into a question I have.
But yeah, that Nami moment is really big for me. Obviously, you got the Robin and NES lobby. I want to live. Also, Usopp versus Luffy in Water 7. Like, that moment where they have that just extremely tense, even before the fight, like the argument in the ship. And that's like stuff that I feel like they've never really done that since, which that's not true. They kind of do that with Luffy and Sanji in Whole Cake, but in that, it didn't have quite as much of an impact for me as Luffy Usopp, because I was like, man, these guys, they would never fight each other. They're like fucking best friends forever. But it really does feel like a awkward, tense divorce in that scene. That sort of energy, and like I love that it like really made me realize how into the characters I was in the show. Because Skypiea, I appreciate Skypiea, but it's not my favorite. I like it more than other people do. But then when Water 7 hits, man, it fucking gets you. So I think for me, it's more so those emotional moments that are my favorites. as opposed to like, oh, this cool fight, which there are cool fights, but what draws me the most is the characters. Foremost.
Yeah, One Piece has this thing, like it's a weird thing for a shonen manga to be more about the characters and the emotional hits than the actual fights themselves, because
Sure.
I can't think of it even Whole Cake Island wasn't even full of fights. Like the last couple arcs, even Dressrosa, I can say not really full of fights, just one big.
There was a whole coliseum of fights, but yeah, there's not
Kind
like
of.
that many big fights.
Yeah,
I guess
like
that was
that's-
just one big fight that in the anime was unbearable. But yeah, sorry, go on.
No, yeah, like that I think that's the thing that people like about One Piece, is the heart of it, and not
Right.
really just the battles. Otherwise, they'd read Bleach.
Sure. I think for me it's characters, and then I love the world building he does is just masterful. Like every time an arc ends and you get that little juicy section of like 3 chapters or whatever where you see what everyone else is doing, and oh my god, like that gets me so fucking hyped. As everyone does, but like he just does that so well. That and obviously planning things out. Like I always tell people, like, they meet a whale, or I don't say the specific character because I don't want to spoil it, but like they'll like meet a character in like episode 80, and then in episode 500 you find out about the significance of it. Like it's just he's planned that shit out so well. It's like the anti-Bleach in that way, where he knows exactly what he wants to do. He's had this shit planned out for so long. The payoffs work, and he clearly knows what he's doing. Gives me like good Full Metal Alchemist vibes, which I think also
Right.
is like great payoff, incredible setup, very structured, that kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the complete
Word.
opposite of diminishing returns. Now, when I mentioned Usopp Island, Steve, you said you had a segue to something.
Yeah, and forgive me, maybe this is a little bit assuming, but I know you go to Disneyland a bunch,
Yes.
especially after moving out here. I think one of my favorite ways of passing the time while waiting on lines in Disneyland is thinking up a One Piece theme park.
Oh yeah.
Do you have
a One Piece tower, right?
No, I haven't. It's definitely something I would love to see, but I'm talking like the grand
Full-blown
spectacle that
Disneyland
is like
size.
like Disneyland Imagineering, but with One Piece. And I'm curious if you've ever had any ideas for like One Piece rides, because I'm thinking like how, just off the top of my head, like there should be a reverse mountain ride that's
Oh,
like Splash
shit.
Mountain.
Now I just
There
want to
should
hear
also be a
your
ride.
ideas, 'cause
There
you
should be like a
clearly
Water
got this
7
planned
ride
out.
like that too. Lots of
Yeah.
flume rides.
I don't know, like an Impel Down ride where you go through all the levels and like you go to like the cold area and the hot area. Like that'd be really cool.
What if it was like Tower of
Yeah,
Terror?
it could be like a
You're
Tower of Terror kind of thing where you go through all the levels. Oh man, what else could there be? Just like a full blown Going Merry or Thousand Sunny. Because at One Piece Tower they have like you can go through it and it's pretty cool. But I would love just like a full blown actual ship or something. Like just
Like
go-
you think?
They used to have that at Odaiba.
Oh, did they? Okay.
I think
a
so.
full working Going Merry.
Do you think that should
And
be like the
Thousand
center
Sunny.
of the park?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, do you think like the Thousand Sunny should be like the center of the park? So I feel like now this
Reverse
is like
mountain.
I need more
Reverse
people
mountain.
helping me with my ideas.
They could do that, yeah, because that could kind of be like a Tokyo Disney Sea thing. Tokyo Disney Sea, like the center of the park is like this big harbor, so you could do that, and that would work.
They had that at Universal Studios Japan. They had the whole stage show thing, but they also had like this marine port where they like do a show outside. There's not a lot of rides. It's more of like that kind of attraction where you go and you watch stuff happen, and then you go to the Sanji's restaurant, and all the actors come out. It's very weird because it's the Japanese voices with actual the real Japanese voices with the actual people going around mouthing it.
Sure.
It's still so bizarre to me. But
Yeah, I mean that's the One Piece Tower's sort of musical show that they do also does that, and they pull it off pretty well.
yeah.
Yeah.
They do, but it's like the concept is still
Kind of goofy, right?
Yeah.
But this doesn't have to take up the rest of the segment, but this is something I'm like, for future reference for whenever we hang out.
Yeah,
we got to put our minds together and think of some more amazing rides.
Honestly, for me, like, even like rides aside, just recreating all the locations, that would just be cool. Like go kind of like Harry Potter style, because like Harry Potter, Diagon Alley in the Florida park is fucking great. This is totally off topic, but I'm just talking about this now.
No, go.
But like,
No, please.
it has like
I
one
went this
ride.
past fall.
Yeah, it's great. It's way better than the Hogsmeade part, which is all right. But it's just cool to walk through all the buildings. So like, have One Piece have like a whole Cake Island section. You know, lots of sweets for sale. Like
where you could eat all of the
things.
buildings.
Yeah. Like the Impel Down Tower of Terror. Zoe, would be cool to look at. The
Hall of Sad Flashbacks.
That's amazing.
Just a tiny ride, like a really slow ride that takes you through all the most heart-wrenching flashbacks.
And it just collects all your tears through the...
I feel like they had something like that at
They
J-World.
have something like that at the One Piece Tokyo Tower, where it's like you walk through it, and I think it takes like a good chunk of time, but it's literally just like a highlight reel of like all the sad moments.
Oh god,
it's very interesting. They have like a recreation of like Nami's busted up room.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, like it's very. It takes you through all those greatest emotional hits.
Wow.
I would love a dark ride of that though. The ride of
Oh my god.
Dark ride of sadness.
We could have
Dark rides are the best.
we could have like a Milky Road kind of ride where you go through the upper yard and it could break down every time you get to Satori's domain.
Yeah.
Yep. And the ride will actually
the lap
break
bars
down.
tighten. You're like, I want out. I want out. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, that's some good brainstorming.
Let's get this thing open,
wow,
guys.
Yeah, let's let's crack that.
Let's make it
shit
happen.
open.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
money
All my
sitting
life
on the
savings
table.
into it.
All right. Yeah. So, any other burning questions that you all might have, or someone, anything you wanted to, mention about One Piece, or just talk about?
Anything I want to
I was
say?
gonna ask
I mean,
what
I'll
your
ask,
favorite villain-
if you guys have questions, otherwise I can just make hot takes or something.
Go
Oh,
ahead.
actually,
favorite
what's
villain, actually.
yeah? What's your
What's your
hottest
favorite
take?
villain?
Actually, because
Yeah.
that's hot takes in One Piece in the One Piece fandom. You can't see, but I'm using quotations with my fingers. They can vary. So I'm very interested in some.
Now,
some
I don't
hot takes.
necessarily claim this is like a super hot take, but because I don't like other people, so I don't go to like see what the fandom is saying about things.
Good.
Like I never pay attention to that for whatever I'm reading or watching, but
It's the best kind of fandom.
I'm very curious. I'm just gonna ask you guys. I want to know the answer to this. Where's Straw Hat?
Where's Straw Hat?
Oh,
Wow.
don't do this.
That's terrible.
Don't do this.
Let's start with
See, for
Steve.
me, it's a very easy answer.
I think you
Which
and I have the
child
same
do you
answer.
hate the most?
Because I think you and I have had this
I
conversation
think we've
before.
talked extensively about this, but I want to hear
Oh,
what everyone
Steve,
else
it's
has to say.
totally Sanji for you, right? You just hate Sanji.
Oh yeah, fuck that
Yeah,
guy.
I'm turning heel. Sanji's not cool.
I will say Sanji used to be, well, maybe not my least favorite, but he used to be pretty bottom tier for me.
Yeah, you were not a fan of his till
Well, Fishman Island,
Whole
kind
Cake
of.
Island.
Well, here's the thing about Sanji. Okay, while you guys think about where's Straw Hat, I'll talk about Sanji for me. Sanji is awesome when he's not being a fucking pervo, right? Like, that shtick, to me, is so tiresome. But when he gets to, like, go off on his own and do cool shit, like be Mr. Prince, or, like I love in what's the Little Garden? Is that what that with the giants?
Yeah.
Like he just goes off, or like Water 7 or Arabasta. Like he'll just kind of separate, do some kind of cool spy shit, and then be like, "Hey, I'm cool," and that shit's great. But it got
Accurate.
I think like Thriller Bark. It was like, come on now, guys. Like this is too much of this shtick. But then Whole Cake has really brought him up, and since then he's been great. I mean, in Wano just recently, he's been fantastic. So he's definitely gone up for me.
Well, after this current chapter, I'm kind of sweating a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, soba mask, yay, bathhouse, ooh.
Yeah.
It's whatever. It's like you get. It's like you know he's gonna do it.
You know he's gonna do it.
Yeah.
Let him do it.
But do we have to see it? Can it just be implied? Anyway,
Well, for least favorite Straw Hat, and
Well, actually, wait. If we have the same one, I don't want. I'm gonna wait. I want to hear the others first.
Okay.
Because I think you know mine. So
Yes.
yeah.
All right, so this is me sort of thinking out loud as I figure it out.
Sure.
Because my top three always alternate between Zoro, Frankie, and Brooke. But I can also see the case for Brooke being the worst Straw Hat because he's also like hadn't had the most time with them. As soon as Brooke gets acquired, collected, if you will, they get separated. So he's had the least amount of time to bond. So like I think if we're talking about like individual feats, God, it sucks because I don't. But in terms of individual feats, maybe. God, this sucks. This is a bad. This question sucks. I hate it.
It's like picking your least favorite child. That's exactly what it is.
Yes, I'm gonna preface it saying, I love them all. But if I had to pick a least favorite, it might be Robin.
Whoa! Get him out of here!
Amazing.
In terms of individual feats, and this is mostly Oda's fault.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I see your
This
point
is
there. Yeah.
Yeah, this is mostly Oda's fault because she has such great potential that is never really used outside of her sneaking around and being knowledgeable about most stuff.
Sure.
And I also kind of wanted to say Chopper too, but like I don't Chopper is right now in the lower tier for me, and I think it's because in the manga, I really should say Sanji, but I think that
Steve's
Whole Cake
sitting
Island
right
was,
here.
Hold on, I think Whole Cake
In
Island
Los
was sort of a redemption for him a little bit, and of course the pervy stuff, yeah, that's always a low bar, but his highs are highs, and I think, I don't know, I don't want to say Robin, but I'm sorry.
Okay. I will share my thoughts on that in a second. Let's see what everyone else.
Ed, do you want to go next, and then I'll go.
Sure. At this point, as much as I don't like Brooke, Brooke's had like the least character development of all of them. His character is sort of entrenched, and he does the pervy things I don't necessarily like. But I feel like Frankie's gone backwards since the time skip. He hasn't had much to do, and I greatly preferred his original design as well. Like I think, it's too busy now. He was so cool before, and like the classic design of Frankie, and he gets to goof off and he gets to have fun. He's a fun character, but I haven't felt any sort of really emotional thing from him in a long time. So that's
actually
sort of where I'm at with Frankie. Right
That's
now.
not bad.
Are you taking
don't
back
wanna
your?
change well, here's the thing. I'm gonna get yelled at by people on Twitter.
I mean, there's no way you
can
can answer this question and not get yelled at by people on Twitter. We will get yelled at by people.
I'm going to go through my full. I'm going to rank them. I think I'm going to rank them right now. While you,
Should I go through mine, or you want to go through
Please,
yours?
no, please.
yeah.
I'm gonna kind of write it down.
You go through it. Yeah. Take your time.
I'm listening. Please tell me yours.
No, I do. It's okay. So I have to agree.
Yeah, Zach, you go.
I'm agreeing with Alex that the worst characters of the Straw Hats, or I should say the worst character defects in the Straw Hats are because of Oda, which of course makes sense. He wrote the series. Sure. And I also agree that Sanji has had the highest highs and also the lowest lows. But I think on average, he ends up probably somewhere still on the lower-ish end. And I hear all the people who are yelling at me through their headphones right now. But so I'm looking through. Luffy, I love. Zoro, I love. Usopp, I love. Chopper, I don't need a reason. I just love Chopper.
Who do you just like, Zach?
Robin, I like. Brooke, I like a lot, and I don't know if I have a good reason for it, but just about everything about him, just for some reason, makes me happy when I see him in the story. The problem is you don't see him in the story that often. I do agree with the Frankie stuff that Ed said, but unfortunately, because of Oda, Nami has been sexualized to like the nth degree that her character has like slowly departed out of this world. Like she's like kind of not there. Granted, I think her recent appearance using Zeus was pretty cool. But on the whole, I think she has been a really squandered character. And I think that's kind of, when you're saying who's your least favorite Straw Hat, it's, I hate this person's backstory. It's not that. It's just how Oda's used them. I think Nami is like the most egregiously bad example for me.
Let me interrupt for a second. Backstories. I'm just going to say this. Usopp's backstory.
Yes, agreed.
Oh, your mom died. Okay, I mean, that's sad, but listen, Robin's whole civilization got destroyed.
Backstory is a completely different animal. Yeah.
Actually, can I chime in for like a half sec?
No. Because
I think I might have. SungWon brought up something that I didn't even consider.
Sure.
I didn't even think of Usopp when I was thinking about which Straw Hat I liked least.
Okay. So it might be Usopp then.
It might be Usopp on my end.
Wow.
And I think it's just because I haven't seen him do anything in a while. And even on Dressrosa.
Oh, you also hate Dressrosa. So.
Yeah. I do hate Dressrosa. I do. He has a cool hockey moment, but let me tell you, that steak and salad thing where he didn't remember.
Oh God, yeah.
I don't know. He gets basically after he becomes a coward again, and it sort of undoes a little bit of development. I don't know. You know what? I don't know. Can I?
Listen. As when I go through my ranking, which I have ready, I will touch on that. You're all bringing up some very, very good points. Did everyone go on their worst except Steve?
Yep.
Except Steve, yeah.
Yeah, I have not gone.
Steve, who is it?
Okay.
Who do you think mine? Because if we have the same, who's yours?
Least favorite?
Yeah.
And this is nothing personal. There's no ill will to this fictional character.
Getting so much hate mail this week.
I don't want to get subtweeted by them on Twitter.
You're gonna.
Brooke is my least favorite.
It's Brooke. Yes.
Yeah.
You guys have already pretty much covered it, but. I mean, first off, yes, he does. He has had the least amount of screen time. Also, pervy shtick, and yet he hasn't had a whole cake to beef him up for me. Like Sanji and Brooke used to be like the worst ones for me, and it's just because I have no patience anymore for that shtick.
Agreed.
But then, besides, Brooke has a great, very sad backstory. What else does he do besides two shticks? Bone jokes and boner jokes.
He's a rock star.
I
was gonna say, he's a talking skeleton.
He's a talking skeleton.
Actually, now that you say that, top Straw Hat for me. He's a talking skeleton.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, just because his design is so different, that's probably why he's kind of closer to the top for me.
He's got a great design, and
he's also competent. When he's one of the few. There's not many in that crew.
I guess just for me, I don't have that much emotional attachment to Brooke. And he does like cool ghost stuff every now and then, but it's never I'm wondering what Oda's going to do, and if the other characters will get some big sort of focused arcs, because that did Sanji like a huge service. Like having that. To be fair, he kind of had like a slightly lacking backstory, I guess, and I liked that he kind of got more. But I would love to see arcs that kind of focus, still have a running overarching plot, but can focus on a couple characters and really beef them up. Because Brooke to me is kind of. Do we need Brooke? That's really, really harsh, but. I don't know. To me, I think Frankie is like absolutely. He's in my top 3.
So what's your full ranking?
Zoro top. I'm gonna say You know what? I'm gonna say Zoro, Nami, Frankie are my top 3.
Cool.
Because I like the characters who are kind of more like the responsible slash. So Zoro and Frankie are kind of like Frankie's the dad. He is the dad of the Straw Hats, and I actually really like that his sort of character arc. He came in as kind of like this wacky, like kind of crazy guy, but now like there are moments in like Dressrosa where he's just kind of like the dad. He's like, Luffy, don't, you got to be careful, like that kind of thing. I actually like that sort of direction he's gone, but then he can still be really funny and goofy. And he's just an emotional guy. I love that he shows it wears his heart on his sleeve. I love that shit. Nami for me, I like because Nami and Usopp, Usopp used to be really high for me, and Usopp has dropped a bit, quite a bit. Because they were kind of like the relatable ones. Like, they were the ones who didn't have a crazy power, so you sort of, like, they felt more human, and you could root for them. And Nami still has that for me. Usopp, the exact moment you were talking about in Dressrosa, where he runs away, I was like, oh my god, what are you doing? Like, this is not something that you should be doing at this point in the game. Like, you are undoing years of character development with this one moment. Like, I would have been fine if they like had him like kind of scared or something, but he just straight up runs away. Like, fuck that. Like, so for that, he went down quite a few notches for me. I find that I'll keep going on my ranking. Zoro, Nami, Frankie, Luffy, Sanji, Usopp, Robert, Chopper. Did I say Robert? Robin, Chopper, Rook. Luffy gets because the arcs now are so plot centric. Luffy gets to have a lot of good moments, and I think that's to his benefit. But it kind of makes me sad that other characters are kind of like on the sideline, unless it's like Whole Cake where Sanji's full front and center. With that said, I love Luffy, and he's just gotten better and better. Like, there's a part in is it Punk Hazard, where like I think Zoro is like, hey, let's not make the same mistake we did like 3 years ago or whatever. Like, remember that? And Luffy's like, yeah, I know. And I'm obviously paraphrasing that, but it really makes you go, he used to be just reckless and kind of dumb and whatever, and he's still dumb and kind of reckless, but he puts more thought into things now, and he's matured, and I like that a lot about him. And then who was talking about Robin?
Oh yeah, that was me.
Yeah, Robin, so much potential there. I love the character, but he doesn't let her do anything.
Yeah,
like doesn't let her fight ever. Like,
I have to make sure Rebecca's okay. That's my investment.
Oh my god!
Robin was on deck, like at Dressrosa, like to take on Diamante.
Right.
Like she was on deck like 5 different times, like in recent memory, and it's just pretty disappointing because she can fight, and like her one like solo fight in Skypiea was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's a great fight. And before I came on, I went on your guys' site and I was like reading all the interviews that the voice actors did, and like I was reading the one with what's her name, Yuriko Yamaguchi, or that might be getting the name wrong. Robin's voice actress.
Yeah.
And she was like, kind of. I think she was kind of talking about that. Like, she kind of wished Robin had more to do, and I was like, yeah, that's true. She kind of translates the poneglyphs, and otherwise doesn't really do much else anymore. Chopper also doesn't really do anything, but that's kind of always been that way. But he's cute, so it's fine. He gets away with it. But Robin,
and he has a great backstory.
He does have an amazing backstory.
Yeah.
But Robin should be doing more.
I think Oda's finally kind of starting to realize that in this arc. I feel like he's definitely been leaning into Robin more than he has in the past. Not quite the one-on-one fights yet. Maybe. But yeah, I completely agree. It's been a problem.
I think the nice thing about the Wano arc is that Oda's sort of giving everybody a little chance to shine. Everybody has their own jobs that they're doing.
Sure. Yeah.
Usopp's still not so much. I'm not really sure what Usopp's
He has
deal
a
is
frog
yet,
on his head, Alex, and that's all he needs to do.
Okay, well, you raise a good point, Zach. Yeah. Sorry I said anything.
Yeah, that's...
So in my heart of hearts, I did kind of like think about, well, Brook, if out of all the Straw Hats, I would definitely miss him the least. Mm-hmm. Because of the development thing.
Yeah.
If one had to die.
I mean, he's already dead. Skull joke. Yada yada. Yeah.
That's how I feel when I read most of his dialogue. What you just said, right there. Yeah. Skull joke. Yada yada. Here's another topic I'm very passionate about. Pre-time skip versus post-time skip designs, because one of you mentioned Frankie, how much worse he looks now, which I agree with. Who do you think came out the best, and who do you think came out the worst, design-wise, post-time skip?
Let's see.
I have a controversial opinion.
Biggest downgrade. I have one in my head. It's not Frankie.
I already have my two. I already have my best and my worst.
Okay. Well, great. We'll start with you, Steve. We'll go on a line.
Chopper, because his hat is easier to draw now.
I do miss Chunko Chopper, for sure.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. Like, I'm just judging. Yeah. I'm not going that far back. I'm going I'm talking end of Marineford and then start of Fishman Island. So that's a whole nother discussion. But I'll at least say Oda has established the way he's drawing Chopper. So Chopper has changed to the least. He adopted that weird pullover cap that he had in Strong Worlds. So much easier to draw. The worst, Robin.
Yep, I'm 100% with you. What a fucking downgrade. First of all, lighten the skin. That's interesting. But even beyond that, where I missed the bangs.
Where's the hat?
Yeah.
Yeah, she looked so cool pre-time skip. Post-time skip, I don't get it. And I'll just say
she used to dress so much differently than Nami too, and now I feel like their wardrobe is practically interchangeable.
Exactly. I mean, there's a character in this arc that I'm like, this is just Robin. What's her name?
Komurasaki.
Yeah, I mean the Japanese names I'm gonna mix up, but
Komurasaki. Oh no, that's us.
Yeah, Komurasaki is Robin. There's a page where she gets cut, and Robin is shocked, and below it is Komurasaki, and I'm like, that's just the same person looking at herself.
Y'all motherfuckers trying to tell me that I was wrong.
What was there?
I'm in the extreme
argument?
minority. I'm in the extreme minority who thinks that I think they do look like different characters, but I mean, of course, now we know that
I guess one has blue
has
hair
green
now.
hair.
Or something.
Gotta have blue hair.
Yeah. Gotta have blue hair, yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I miss Nami's short hair.
Yeah.
The short hair. Is there a design that I like more now that I'm thinking about it?
I was thinking the same thing. I mean,
the most harmless ones are Luffy, Sanji, Zoro.
Brook is kind of better, I think.
I like the classic spooky look better than the Rockstar look.
I'm
all the way.
Let's see. I think for me, my least favorite, Robin probably, or not. If we're going by their first appearance, I'm going to say Nami because why are you just wearing a bra?
Yeah.
You have such a great sense of style because what she's wearing at the beginning of the very very end of Whole Cake, I thought was super cool, the long fuzzy thing. She's Oda's giving her better things to wear these days. But yeah, I do miss the short hair. I'll say probably either Robin or Nami. I think honestly, I was pretty stoked about Frankie's design just because now he's a toy. I'm not gonna say it's better or worse, but I don't know. I've gotten so used to Luffy's new design that I do like it better just because you can see the scar.
Sure, I do like that a lot, that you can see the scar. That is a great choice.
Yeah, he definitely he looks more matured and older.
Sure.
Like I think Luffy's definitely got the best post time skip design.
I actually like Chopper's. What is this? Horn Point, the teenager Chopper, you might call him.
Oh yeah,
That is a controversial opinion, I think, because I remember at the
How many
time.
times have we seen him since?
Not
we were back at
much,
Sabaya?
like maybe a handful. But I thought that was.
Horn Point. Oh yeah. This was cute.
regular old reindeer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, it's not the reindeer. I do like that one a lot, but also the teenagery
Point.
one. Which one is that one?
You mean that? Yeah, that
The
is Horn
Sonic
Point.
the
Okay.
Hedgehog looking one.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought that was very different. It made him look older. Like it actually was like a development for him. But otherwise, I agree with all you guys. I think they're all downgrades, especially when you look at the manga and all the alternate potential ways they could have looked, because he drew all of those, and it just makes me furious that he did not do some of those.
Oh yeah.
Especially with
Like
what
yeah,
it
we
ended
could have
up
had
with.
Robin with the bob.
Yeah, they did the
doing
Pulp
that.
Fiction-y kind of look, right? Or more so.
Wasn't that just Shaggy though? That's just
Yeah,
Shaggy.
it is kind of like Shaggy.
That's true too.
Yeah, to be fair. But that's
That's a
Oda's.
whole topic. That's all another topic of Oda's female designs. But
We should probably wrap up this segment, right, Alex?
Yeah.
Well, before
What is
before
two
we
good female designs.
before we do wrap it up, we didn't get yours, Ed and Zach.
Oh, I just
Favorite and least
I just
favorite.
Oh,
I think I said favorite.
favorite.
Least favorite or the rest?
Zoro, because I already love him and he looks so much better now. Like he's even more manly than he used to be.
yeah, Zoro's is
And
the best
yeah,
one.
I still don't like Frankie's. Like I don't like his new body. I don't like what he's done to himself.
Yeah. Robin is also my least favorite, I think. And I like Luffy's post.
Yeah, Robin's isn't
I
good.
like Luffy's post time skip, but there were some drafts that Oda had that he looked so much freaking cooler. That I'm still disappointed.
You guys
But
have
you
to
know,
link that to me because I don't think I've seen these.
yeah, I will.
Oh yeah.
They're in
Do
volume.
you own any of the physical volumes?
No.
SungWon?
Okay.
Okay.
It's in
'Cause
volume 61.
A lot of them are featured
Yeah.
in volume 61.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I'll send that over. Yeah. But yeah, Luffy could change his clothes, and he does. So that's really my big issue with that. I don't love the Fishman Island look that much, and they use it in every opening constantly.
Like on that point, like what I hate is that the first outfits they get, Robin's is so stupid, but all the merchandise is that outfit because
Yep.
that's like the default design for these characters. Even though he dresses them in cool outfits like all the time.
Yeah, Whole Cake
Like-
Island, they all look cool, I think, at
Right.
moments there. So, what a
I miss
disappointment.
cowboy hat, Robin.
Yeah.
That was your thing.
Bring back the hat. All right. We're gonna wrap it up here because we gotta keep recording stuff. But SungWon, thank you so much for coming on.
Oh yeah. Listen, I told you guys
yeah.
I could talk about it for forever.
Yeah, welcome.
And we would love to have you on again to
Yeah.
continue to talk about
Hell
One Piece
yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm having a hell of a good time.
Yeah.
Before we move on to the next segment, is there anything that you would like to plug?
Yeah, sure. YouTube, Twitter. I'm on Twitter too. Just search ProZD, PROZD. I shit post and make videos and yeah. So just Google ProZD. You'll find my shit there.
Fabulous. Okay, well that does it for this this particular segment of Romance Dawn. Let's move on to the next segment.
Yeah.
All right.
This is the manga recap for chapter 935, Queen. You could read along with us at shonenjump.viz.com or on Manga Plus for free, legal, and as soon as it comes out in Japan, which is now. Ed, what's going on the front page?
Yes, we have Smoke White and her little mouse friends playing with they look exactly like the mice from Cinderella. Whatever.
Yeah. Smokerelli, night and day, Smokerelli.
Smoke White and the seven
I'll
mice.
get started on that sketch, guys.
Yeah, okay, thank you, Steve.
Oh
Smoker
man,
Roll.
yeah, they're cute little fire hose and their cute little fire engine. Yeah, they're putting out the cigar because Well, it is a fire, but it's not that kind of fire. So.
Yeah,
it looks
Smoker
so
seems
fucking
super
pissed.
happy about it.
Happy birthday.
He's just drenched. I like the
Dude.
one in the foreground, the bottom left there. Cute little.
Yeah, because he's realizing Smoker is about to unleash some hell on them, I think.
Just a beast.
Yeah.
All right. Anyone else have thoughts on the cover? This is requested by Michi Nakahara,
Not Noda Skywalker. His
good friend of the Skywalker.
yeah.
Friend of the
Anyway,
show, Noda Skywalker.
friend of the Twitter account. Ed, you want to start the chapter?
All right. We start at the officer's tower, the excavation labor camp on Udon, and we get to see excavation labor camp vice warden, a headliner, Solitaire, with her monkey smile fruit, and she's got big Goro arms, 6 arms, carrying 4 swords and a big tail. She's her feather shoulder pads and vest dress. It's amazing.
I wanna point out that like, of course monkeys don't have 6 arms, but monkeys' arms and legs both have like opposable thumbs, so that's why she's got the 2 sets of arms.
Well, yeah, she's got a full 4 from the monkey and 4 from herself.
Yep.
Interesting. I didn't think of it that way.
So she's got the someone's calling, Miss Solitaire, a key's been stolen. Someone stole a key to the Sea Prism stone cuffs. And she retorts, pointing, "What are you idiots doing? Did anyone see the thief?" Ook. I guess it's her doing the ook because she's a monkey.
Yeah, she's so angry.
That's funny.
Monkeys always do that when they're
the little vein bulging in the speech bubble. It was a man with a freakishly huge face. He bamboozled me into putting the fake keys into the safe. How stupid is this guy?
He's Zoidberg.
Where do I get my claws on him? Just because the guy can only walk sideways. That's it. You're off key duty. You must still be in the tower. Search everywhere, even in the rafters.
Zoidberg is always off key duty.
What a
Just because the guy can only walk sideways.
Yeah, what a video game ass guard that they just here's this guy who can only do one random thing and they're gonna put him in front of the key safe.
Is he
And he only walks in 2 dimensions too.
He's like the Kokiri kid that won't let you leave Kokiri Forest in Ocarina of Time.
Mido or Mido, either way.
But apparently, he's capable of putting fake keys. How is he grabbing stuff with those claws?
That's a good
with difficulty.
Yeah.
Same way Chopper picks stuff up. Yeah.
I like how incompetent the jail is here. Luffy is basically taking this place to task. It really makes me appreciate how well Impel Down is run.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point. It is. It's very
Jellen's way too humble, man. He didn't have to step down.
I mean, if you think about it, we'll get into this with the punishments and stuff. This camp is not really run with labor efficiency in mind, because they're just killing people left and right for talking back to the guards and stuff. They're not really running a very tight ship.
Although
it's not really the point.
Mysteriously, one prisoner has survived for 25 years or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so we cut to a hallway where a figure is bouncing around in a corkscrew manner, bounding through the hallway. Ning, 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 ning. I've lived up to the ninja reputation. I've acquired the key. I know it took longer than expected, but just a bit more patience, Lupitaro.
No way is he talking like that.
The time of escape is at hand. All that remains is to slip away quietly.
Yeah, that's exactly the joke, I would think.
That's the one that's bolded. This is the Akazaya 9 Ninja Raizo of the Mist.
There are double exclamation points for every single bubble there, so there's no way he's talking quietly. Am I wrong there, Steven?
He's really amped up because we know that Raizo is all about showing off his ninja abilities, and it's he finally succeeded at something. He's I've lived up to the reputation of a ninja. he's so excited to finally produce something for the sake of the big fight. And,
it's like a doctor who correctly puts a Band-Aid on someone. It's okay, that's your job. You should be able to, We go to the next page. Still at the excavation site. we get what kind of boxes are these? What do you call these? Burnt paper boxes. I don't know. The first rule of Fight Club at Udon is anyone who talks back to a guard. Wait, that's not the first rule of Fight Club. Is sentenced to double arm amputation for the first offense. Okay, Stephen, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Maybe not the best way to induce better work. It's like, oh, dude, you're doing such a bad job here. Let's cut off both your arms so you do a better job. That'll motivate you. Anyway, you see as this is going on, old man Hio, flying out as Luffy with the Sea Stone cuffs behind him kicks who we later find out to be Daifugu, the Scorpion Man, in the face. And so it's double arm amputation and double leg amputation for the second, and execution for the third. But if a prisoner should strike a guard, immediate death, instant death. And we see Master Daifugo, sorry.
Yeah.
Not Daifugu and Daifugo. Yeah. I'm not going to remember this person's name next week. So it's
tomato. We get it.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, it could have been something more memorable because, this is obviously another card game. And originally, it has an English equivalent, which I was originally going to use along with the other guy who gets named in this chapter. And Daifugo is a card game that is typically called President in English. It's I don't know if anybody has ever played that, but it's kind of similar to Uno. It's like you try to get rid of your cards onto a pile, and the pile has to go up. So you always have to play a higher card, and based on how you score, you take a position for the next round. So there's president, vice president, and then at least when I played it before, like the last two people were the wipe and the hole for asswipe and asshole. And you have to like give the president your better cards for the next round and stuff like that. And so I really had it translated. And Alexi was like, have you considered that maybe like this sounds really dumb for a character name? And I was like, you know what? I can't really argue that when they're all calling him Master President. And so I was like, okay, we'll go with the Japanese name. That's fine.
Could have called him Uno.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm waiting for Egyptian Rat Screw to come up.
I was gonna say that. Like that's a card game that I learned in college that nobody.
Yeah, I love that game.
Or spades or cribbage. I can't wait for cribbage.
There's also the games you used to play at camp when you were younger, Asshole and Bullshit, who I hope come up at some point here.
Bullshit summer.
Or Spit. Spit's also a good one.
Yeah.
Is this bringing you guys back?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Headliner bullshit.
I'll write that down, but
bullshit.
I don't know
How many
how.
bullshits we got on this crew anyhow?
Back on this bullshit. So yeah, Daifugo is on the ground, just as instant death. We learn is the punishment for doing this, and everyone's murmuring around. Oh wow, he kicked the vice warden. We all saw that one. No excuses this time. You're all gonna be put to death. To death. Put to death. Put to. Okay. Steve.
Ass to ass. No.
I'm not with
God.
him.
The rest of the these people that work for Kaido chanting "put to death." It's contrasted with the reaction to the other prisoners saying like, "Oh, it feels great to see him fight back, but ooh, this doesn't look good. We'll never forget you, Luffy Taro. This is it for you too, old man Hio." And Hio was like, "It was a valiant fight, Straw Hat fellow." And Luffy's like, "Why are you acting like it's over already?" It's like, we're getting the hell out of here. As another one of these jailers, or what's the term we should be using for these guys again?
Jailers works for guards.
Okay.
Or, yeah.
Okay. Jailer's like, we have all the devil fruit users outfitted with just enough sea prism stones so they
Why
can
does he
still work.
Why does he sound like an old Jewish man?
It's our way with getting around plot holes here, Zach.
Okay.
It's like, you should only be capable of bare minimum of movement, like hard labor in a prison camp.
That's the mansplaining accent.
Yeah.
Did you say hard labor at prison camp?
Daifugo says, it's like, oh, so you think I'm inferior to that, huh? It's like, no, sir, that's not what I was saying. And then the Elephant Man, who doesn't have a face yet, he says he's breathing hard. The Sea Prism Stone is working. His willpower is simply off the charts.
Wait, Steve, what did we want his face to be again? We wanted it to be like
speech bubble. I want it to just be speech bubbles. Or
we said what's
last time.
Powerpuff Girls? What's her face?
Oh, Miss Bellum.
Yeah, where we just never see above the. Anyway, go ahead. Obviously, we do.
He's saying like, yeah, the Sea Prism Stone is working. It's just that what we're dealing with is a very strong individual who's, who can't be limited by such minimal Sea Prism Stone. That's another sentence. And he's addressed as the warden, and Luffy says, "I'm training now, so when these things come off, I'll be even stronger." That's what training at 100 times Earth's normal gravity is.
I was thinking the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Luffy doing his shonen training right here. So then we get a good look at the mug of this guy. It says, "Why bother training when you'll never see the sunrise again? Elephants march you!" And we get the elephant stomach going, Bwishonk. As it
That's amazing.
It sneezes out something gross looking, or is it?
Is that a missile?
We don't even see it.
Yeah, it shoots out something. But this is the excavation labor camp chief warden headliner, Babarnuki, Joey Babarnuki.
Hey, it's me, Joey Babarnuki. Hey, you want some prosciutto? We got some prosciutto. We got some mozzarella. We got some ravioli.
I'm an elephant. I'm walking here. I'm marching here. That's it.
I got an elephant for a stomach, ma.
Hey, I'm marching here. I'm marching here.
If you couldn't tell already, he ate an elephant smile fruit. Funk fruit, eat your heart out. And Luffy, with his whip, he notices this projectile, and it blows him up. Boom. And is this his laughter?
It's my favorite laugh in the whole series.
Yeah, that's the elephant sound. So like, pow is like the elephant trumpeting, but I think on the page it just looks like he's letting off the air horn.
Oh, Vuvuzela. He just has a Vuvuzela sitting there, ready to go.
Yeah.
Alex.
Sorry, but Babarnuki is old maid, so that was strike 2 for Alexi.
Oh yeah,
like we can't call this guy old maid.
Oh no, Alexi's wrong there.
It's too offensive.
See, that's what I thought, but hey, fair enough, fair point.
Yeah. All right, so Luffy really takes that hit, and he's looking pretty worse for wear. Old man Hyo says, "Oh, straw hat feller," and one of the other jailers tells Babarnuki that Master Queen is here now, and Babarnuki is, how come you didn't tell me this already? And Luffy's reeling from this hit, saying, damn it, if only I could use hockey right now. Which is interesting because he's wearing the Sea Prism Stone cuffs, but that shouldn't prevent hockey, because but I guess he's just weak, right? Like he's weak enough that he can't use hockey.
I guess so.
Well, I guess if you're a Devil Fruit user, having any Sea Prism Stone weakens you, regardless of hockey or not. But like this transition here confused me. Like they just sort of they leave Luffy in the middle of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we see Queen from an overhead shot, smooching at a picture of Komurasaki.
Komurasaki, you are so adorable. I'm plagued with excitement.
He's the plague, you see.
Yes.
Yeah. I should explain. He does say like one of his catchphrases here is that he keeps saying like excite, or like and I was like, excite, what is that about? And then I realized that it was because his nickname, so the plague, is like he's called Ekisai no Queen. Ekisai is the Japanese word for plague. And so Oda was just like, okay, well, here's that's almost short for excitement, like the English word. So I just sort of blended them together.
I almost thought he talked like Borat or something.
Excitement.
Very excited. Yeah.
My wife. So we see that Queen is look like he just hangs out under a big top. But they're saying Queen, Queen, and I guess people are chanting his name, right?
Mhm.
Queen, Queen, and he continues to talk to the picture of Komurasaki saying, you're wasted on Orochi. Oops, it's showtime. We're gonna swing by the pleasure hall on the way back. Roger that, sir. And the two minions talk to themselves. When do we tell them that she's dead? Do I look like I want to die? And Queen's pretty jubilant, having talked to his very best friend, a picture, and everybody is very excited to see Queen. In the grand tradition of characters like Frankie, Queen gets a little bit of a scene where he comes out dancing with two partners, and
He's doing
he
the
sings-
Gangnam style.
he is doing Gangnam Style. Looking at him, like, now that I take a good look at him, he is almost he's really reminiscent of Obelisk from Asterix.
Yeah, with the striped pants and stuff.
Yeah, he's the perfect shape too.
Right.
If Oda colors him with blue and white stripes, then that's the proof, which is in the pudding. But he's singing and dancing. If I get any thinner, I'll steal all your hearts. So I choose the way I am. I stay funker. I look round, but it's all muscle, baby. So I sing the way I dance. That's funker. Plagalicious. is that this?
Plagalicious definitions make the boys go funky.
Yeah, see, Steve knows all the words to this song.
Yeah.
So everybody's eating it up. They love Master Queen, and Queen just says, keep them waiting, scumbags, or keep you waiting, scumbags. Yeah, there we go. And
Look at his bounty.
yeah, so we get little text for the Animal Kingdom Pirates lead performer Queen, the Plague. Reward 1.32 billion berries. So yeah, I think Katakuri set, or I'm sorry,
Is that
Jack,
the third most that we've seen in the series? Because it's Blackbeard, Luffy, and Queen, right?
Yeah.
What's Luffy at? I'm trying to remember. 1.5?
5 billion.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Yeah, so he's got a bounty higher than Queen. But yeah,
Jack.
I was gonna say Queen because 1.5.
Oh, sorry,
billion
Queen. Sorry,
is-
I'm getting.
Yeah.
I'm getting my characters mixed up here.
No, it's cool. But Jack did set a precedence for this billion plus bounty berries. Anyway, continuing on.
All right. And on the next page, Queen sits down on his little makeshift throne with some torches and stuff. And he says to his little buddy Babarnuki here.
Babarnuki. Oh my god. Holy shit.
You had that one in the chamber.
Putting me
You
to
thought
work.
that you could let that
took me a
one
second
squeak
there.
by, huh?
Good.
You just thought you could squeak that one by. Well, I got your number, buddy.
And so Queen is like, all right, let's hear some rankings. He immediately launches into this. He sings like top 3 things you're worried about. And he even does this little like drum roll. Number 3. And Babanuki just says, Yusa's kid escaped. And he's like, what? Okay, number 2. Someone stole the key to the Sea Prism Stone Cuffs. What? Number 1. And then he just looks over his shoulder like Straw-Eyed Luffy's. He's over there. He's escaping. You can see him. He's literally just climbing the wall across the way. And he's like, what? After him, you numbskulls. And
So David Letterman has gained some weight.
Yeah.
He's been away
Yeah.
for a little while, so makes sense.
I mean, stupid. This, I mean, with all the smiley users, this gives a new meaning to stupid pet tricks.
Oof.
Oh,
Come on,
Oh,
guys.
God,
You made a
that's-
David Letterman joke. I can't make one too. Fuck you.
You can. It was
I've
good. It
never
was a good
watched
joke.
David Letterman.
Wait, so this would make old man Hyo Larry Bud Melman?
He kind of looks like what's his face, the band leader.
Paul
The-
Is
Schaefer.
Paul
is
Schaefer,
Luffy
yeah.
Jay Leno here?
Why would he be Jay Leno?
Because
He didn't get
he's
captured by David
Trying to
Letterman,
ruin his show.
he's trying to
or
ruin
in
a
this-
show.
or in this case, I would call him David Butterman or David Butterball.
Jay Leno had his chance to escape the prison, and then he chose to stay there. He wanted around too. So
That's a good point. Yeah.
But yeah, we see Luffy, and like the sound effects are like he's not really making very quick progress thanks to his cuffs. But then the scene switches to Ebisu Town, and we hear Yasu in his sort of familiar patter. No, I won't hear another word of it. Your young master Zorojuro's friends, I hear. Well, you go right ahead and use any one of these empty homes you see. And so we see that actually Frankie, Usopp, and Law have made it to Ebisu Town, apparently in search of Zoro, but he is gone. And Yasu tells them that they got the pick of the litter because there's plenty of empty homes with the people who are starving to death left and right. So you just kick the bones out of the way and pick whichever one you want. And he's laughing it up, and Frankie's like, "Did I miss something? Why is this funny? Why are you laughing?" And he's like, "Well, what else can you do but laugh? But sorry to say, you're just a tad too late to see your friend." Because he just leapt up and raced his way out of here. Something about a sword being stolen. I don't know. It was a whole racket. But I no idea who he was chasing, how far, none of that. And someone, probably Usopp, says, "All right, I'm just going to assume that he's not going to get back here then." It's a pretty safe assumption. And Law wonders, where did Blackleg go? And I haven't seen Sanji in a while. Wait a second. You don't think he... Oh, no.
Oh no.
Oh,
dear.
no.
Yeah, I just like the idea that Zoro's going to be on his own for the entire arc. He's never going to get back together with the crew. He's just going to
I
wander
kind of
around
love that.
Wano.
Like, he's going to be the Wandering Samurai. Like, I think Zoro is going to be our introduction to all the different places in Wano. Like, we'll see him in Ringo, and like that's probably where he's going to go next, right? I do wonder if he's going after. Did he have Shusui? Because they confiscated it from him in the beginning of the arc. So I guess maybe he's talking about maybe Nidai Kitetsu. Like,
I mean, it could be Shusik. I would assume that he took it back when we saw him, killing the magistrate guy. So maybe it's someone who took, maybe this is the reintroduction of the Ryuma story, that someone's trying to take the treasure back from him. Could be.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, where could Sanji be? Well, could be in the bathhouse, Flower Capital. Nami, Robin, and Shinobu are in the bathhouse. Nami wonders the water might be too hot, but Shinobu says, "Oh, well, that's what makes it good." Of course, Robin says, "I'm hesitant to get to the public bath because if anything should happen, I guess if they were to be recognized." But Shinobu says, "You are just as cautious as a ninja. We sorcery users," I guess she means, of course, devil fruit users, "feel weak when we're submerged in water. So I understand your concern, but there won't be any enemies here." Nami says, "We might not have any enemies, but I feel like I need to start charging money." And when Nami says something like that, what that means. There's dudes around. She says, "I didn't expect mixed bathing." And we see that the entire rest of the bathhouse is occupied by dudes.
Well, there's one of them wearing a mask. We don't know about that one.
It's a dude.
That's,
Bottom right
yeah,
there.
Yeah.
That looks like that Shinobu guy. What's his face from the last chapter?
Hanzo.
Hanzo.
Yeah.
Hit by a
Yeah.
Hanzo
but
getting
he's
hit
not
by
as-
football.
Not as huge. Yeah. That guy's still in ninja gear. and we see a bebang with a comma and a giant heart. And in response to the mixed bathing, Shinobu says, "Oh, is that Exakti? Listen, I know all the fellas have their eyes glued to me right now, but they can't help it. They're strapping young men." And then one of them says, "Lady, can you get out of the way?" And she responds to that by with a Ninpo ball crusher, as we hear a ai and a Shinobu no, and we hear a bunch of dong 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 sound effects.
Shinobu, no.
She's really letting them have it. What's worse than a ball crusher? A ball crusher when you have nothing to protect said balls.
Yep.
Yep. So we get a little bit of some conversation happening. That Kyoshio really scares me. You can't tell what he's thinking. Well, yeah, he's a Yakuza. So you don't know nothing, man. The Yakuza are supposed to be on the side of the people. I guess kids these days just don't know. And Shinobu, of course, says, where's the bath boy? I need my back washed. See, back in my day, there was a great Yakuza boss named Hyogoro the Flower.
And on the next page, Robin wonders, is that the man Kanjuro was talking about? And Shinobu picks up the story. Oh, if only boss Hyogoro the Flower was still around, we could have rustled up all the samurai at once, because he's apparently a charismatic figure. At this rate, we'll never reach our goal of 5,000 samurai in a week. We'll be lucky to get 500. And then, oh, who is this guy? Is he really that great of a man? And then we get Shinobu going into a flashback view here as we see Hyogoro, who was previously apparently fire Jinbei, I guess. It's just there's no end to the Jinbeis. She explains that 20 years ago, he was the face of Wano's underworld. You know, he was the guy completely in control of the underbelly of the flower capital. And he had clout with Yakuza bosses in the other 5 regions. And he was kind to the people. He was chivalrous. He was a knight of the old ways, powerful, charismatic. And when Lord Odin was young, even he admired boss Hyogoro's character. So we get this picture. This is very much like the romanticized view of the Yakuza, the old-fashioned view of the Yakuza, who were always considered, even though they were like rough and tumble, they were always considered to be sort of compassionate and looking out for the little guy, at least according to the stories and the way that they like to talk about them.
And there's Frankie's boss there up in that top panel. He's angry at that one guy who's staring.
Oh yeah, that is true. Yeah, Minatomo is there. And then, that must be one of his guys, because the staring man has the Daiku, the carpenter tattoo on his arm. So we get another kind of view of the random folks gathered at the bathhouse. The ladies are continuing. Why don't we look for him then? That'd be a huge help if we could get that guy. And Shinobu continues. Well, that was 20 years ago. And from what the tales on the wind, what the grapevine told us was that he resisted joining the Kurozumi clan. That would be Orochi, and he was killed for it, which we know, of course, was not true. He was just sent to the labor camp. But that was the moment that Fukurokuju, the leader of the Oni Obanshu, who had been a fellow supporter of the Kozuki clan, chose to switch allegiance to serving Orochi instead. At the time, I was one of his subordinates. Shinobu says, I couldn't stand it. I left the band and had to flee for my life. And we see that Nami and Robin and Shinobu are apparently being attended to by the bath boys. Here are more giant octopuses, which is
octopi, Stephen. Octopi.
Both are proper.
Oh, really?
Correct.
Mm-hmm. Very much in the classic ukiyo-e style, which no comment. Nami says,
yeah, be careful when looking at this on Wikipedia,
right.
Google, wherever.
Right. And Nami recalls Hanzo, the aforementioned Hanzo, who clearly recognized Shinobu when he saw her at the palace. And she says, "Ah, so that's how you knew that ninja." And she's like, "That's really cool that you did that, Shinobu." And then Robin asks, "What's up with the octopuses?" And Shinobu says, "Oh, they're the bath boys. They're employees." So at least nice to know that they're getting paid. And they do the little yo boom sound effects. And Shinobu finishes it up by saying, "At this point, Boss Hyogoro, he's just an old legend."
Oh, I like in one of these panels, that second to last one, there's a little kid playing on one of the tentacles of the octopus.
His dad is like trying to grab him off.
Wrangle him, yeah.
That's pretty good.
Oh, is that also Minatomo-san there again, in front of one of his like next to Robin there in the top left panel?
Yeah.
He's making up for years of not having any cameos.
Yeah. He's like passed out right there. What's going on?
I think it's been it has been revealed like via SBS or something that he's a relative of the East Blue Minatomo-san.
Yeah, that's in the latest volume.
Yeah.
This is like having 2 scotches and 2 carrots.
Yeah, let's not overthink this. Ed, finish us off.
Okay. So out to the last page, we hear, "I'm telling you, all you have to do is join Kaido's pirate crew and all will be forgiven." "No way, shut up." And we see Raizo says, "Oh, all the rotten timing. I have the key right here, Sir Luffy." This should be a familiar refrain to you, Hyogoro. "Years ago, Kaido and Orochi spent quite a lot of time trying to woo you to our side. Now the legendary mob boss is a little old man shriveled with malnutrition, fated to die a miserable, forgotten death." And he replies, "Do what you will to me, but spare this young man, I beg of you. Please, for me." And Luffy looks on, a little concerned. And the prisoners react. "Hyogoro? You mean the Hyogoro? You're kidding, that little bean of a man?" And Queen continues, "I have made up my mind. I know just the thing to make this exciting."
Excite.
Yes. Raizo again. "Sir Luffy, I cannot believe it's you." Oh, I don't know. This is the voice coming from behind Raizo as he's looking at Luffy. The voice says, "I cannot believe it's you. You look just the same as you once did." And Raizo turns around sharply and says, "Who's there? Name yourself." He says, "Raizo, it's me, Kawamatsu. Is Lord Momonosuke alive and well?" "Kawamatsu?"
Bang.
And his eyes bug out. And
Well, there's
so
no
this is the guy
Babang
who
there.
was shooting the fish skeleton earlier, probably. In the arc.
Yeah.
Yes, but did we see a silhouette, Steven, when we saw the Ashitaka? What were they called?
There's a
I-
guy who had a top like a ponytail thing, right?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I have to go back. Akazaya
Yeah.
9, sorry.
And I can't
Um,
believe Geen from Baratier is back.
Yeah, so that's the chapter. I'm gonna try and see if I could find a silhouette while we go through our thoughts on this.
Does
I'm gonna.
Kawamatsu stand for anything, or is it just a name?
That's a good question.
It's just
yeah.
it's just a name. I mean, Kawa is river and Matsu is like a pine tree. I mean, they're both
Okay.
very, very common names. But on the other hand, like I feel like I feel like Oda is not just going with like here's a stereotypical or a boring like modern Japanese name. They're either all old timey or they're sort of indicative of the character in some way. So I guess we'll see if that means something.
Steve,
since he's still
what did-
obviously very mysterious now.
Yeah, let's start with Steve. What did you think of this week's chapter?
I guess I'm just alone here. I felt like this chapter just came and went really quick. It felt short. It was pretty.
Didn't do a lot to reestablish you in the world after taking you 2 weeks. Well,
Yeah.
1 week off, but
But yeah, we're introduced to more and more smile fruit users, and I mean it's cool. Like I'm liking these designs, but I kind of want like some of these characters to start serving a little bit more of a purpose. Like Solitaire is like it is a fun little design, but I'm wondering are these characters could be squaring up with certain protagonists, shonen style fights. Because as of right now, I don't necessarily like care anymore.
I mean,
I don't want to sound too
designs
negative
are
about
cool.
it. Yeah, but like a cool design only gets you so far.
Yeah, but this is One Piece, land of cool designs. I mean,
yeah, but rather than being introduced to another character, I'd rather just, get the story moving along a little bit more. There's so many characters with names that are hard to remember already.
oh,
Yeah.
This is
you
only
raise a
like
point,
this is only
but-
something I thought in the moment. I really wasn't like, stewing on this for a while, but yeah, I thought this was gonna be Luffy's big breakout, but still he's got a little ways to go. Queen's kind of fun. I don't know. I'm not like the big 2-page spread with Queen getting their name and all that, and their them and the Funky Bunch doing their funky dance. It didn't strike me this. I feel like I'm just comparing to past One Piece stuff. I apologize. Like it didn't hit me the way like say like Frankie's debut did, or like even Cobb's did. It just felt like, oh yeah, I guess you could do a little dance thing. Probably look more fun in the anime. I don't know. I didn't really feel that strongly about this chapter. I'm kind of glad you picked me first. Bathhouse. Yeah, it's the bathhouse. I don't know much about Yakuza either, so I don't know. It just feels weird. Like with the Yakuza being glorified, it's like, oh, they're very noble and all this stuff. It just makes me think like is this like romanticizing the Yakuza? But I gotta admit, like I'm not too familiar with the history of the real life Yakuza, but it just feels like it's romanticizing them a little bit much. I'm like, aren't they like the equivalent of like the mafia?
I
Yeah.
mean, kind of. Yeah, more or
They're
less.
often romanticized in Japanese literature
Yeah,
and
it's
culture.
very much a trope. Yeah.
Yeah, and not that that's the right thing to do, but it is. It's a common thing. Yeah, go ahead.
Shinobu's funny. I really like her self-confidence. It's a great trope, but I don't know. I was not that crazy about this one. I felt like nothing in this really stuck with me. Dare I say it? It might be one of my least favorite chapters of Wano so far.
Okay, we'll leave you there, Steven.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely wasn't down on it, but it is definitely another sort of building up context for the next thing that is going to happen. So we get a lot of talking, but not a whole lot of action. I did like the I liked Queen's introduction. I think Alex just comparing him to Obelix or Obeli, or is that
No, it's
I thought the
Obelix. Yeah.
it is Obelix? Okay, was a pretty spot on one. That makes his design kind of make more sense to me, or it gives me something to be like, oh, okay, I can see that's neat. I can see how there might be a little bit of inspiration there, but I do like his like sort of the reveal of his personality, since we didn't know that much about him before. I love the like the give me your top 3 thing. That was pretty funny. And I guess we will we'll see what he's what role he's going to play here as this sort of showdown between him and Luffy gets established. Let's see, the Zoro thing again. It's like, okay, well, he isn't actually in the page, but it's interesting that he's continuing to wander, and I feel like that's going to be heading somewhere. And the Hyogoro thing is a nice touch. Like, I'm glad that we're getting even more of a picture of how that that this seemingly random character. I know we got the reveal last chapter, but to have that built up further and to explain like why he should be important, that he could be a conduit to helping recruit a bunch more samurai if they're able to free him from the prison. is a big thing. And let's see, I guess last thing is the Kawamatsu page. So it doesn't seem like that's going to be bringing back some long lost character from the past. It's going to be another new Wano character. So I think that definitely begs the question of why all the secrecy with this character not being shown. And so I feel like we're getting set up for something pretty good probably. So I'm eager to see more of that. But yeah, definitely a lot of building up stuff. There wasn't a whole lot of great reveals in this chapter. So we'll see where we go next, I guess.
Alex.
Yeah, this is one of those chapters where I would consider like last chapter where you sort of need these expository chapters to sort of move everything along. For me, the highlight of the chapter was Queen. Queen fucking rocks. I really love that Queen's got what Stephen explained earlier with excite, like using this, using plague as a pun. Like this is, I was really worried that Kaido's flunkies were going to be like Doflamingo's like main flunkies, where they didn't really have anything that was super memorable about them.
All of Doflamingo's flunkies wanted to be cool. It seemed like these guys don't care at all about being like a definition of cool. They're just like being themselves. Yeah,
that's the thing. They're all like, I think the thing about Wano, right, is that like there are these characters who are comfortable with just being themselves. Shinobu, for example, who I really like a lot. Like I was thinking about this I don't know, the mixed bathhouse thing. I could, that probably has some Japanese lore to it, like mixed bathhouses being a thing. But having a character like Shinobu around, I think is really great to offset, any sort of this is basically like Oda's gone way overboard with bathhouse scenes and stuff before. Thriller Bark, I think, being the worst. So this didn't bother me at all. Plus, we got some exposition on Hyogoro. I love his old design. I think it's interesting that if Hyogoro wasn't in the prison, he would probably still look like this. I just love the way that Oda draws old people. Like if they maintain strength, then they're humongous people. But if they don't, they're just withered up raisins.
It's almost like Rumiko Takahashi. Whenever her characters get really old, they get super duper tiny.
Yes, like Haposai. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah, he was kind of giving me a little bit of a Haposai vibe, minus the lechery, of course. And I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum, of course, with Steve. I love whenever a new Smile Fruit user is introduced, just because it's, I don't know, I feel like it's a chance for Oda just to play around with more of these cool designs. If we don't see them again, I mean, like we might see them in a giant battle, but like I really appreciated Solitaire's design just because I had to think about it for a second, like the 6 arms, like what exactly that meant with her being a monkey fruit user. I thought it was a fine chapter. And I look forward to seeing what comes next. Like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of stock in the One Piece fandom is always put into a single chapter, just because sometimes you get like a bombshell, But at the end of the day, it's all part of one volume. So, and then one arc. So I don't know.
And I thought we were friends.
Ed.
But we are friends. But we're not friends? Oh no.
Putting me on blast for just...
I didn't really put you on blast.
No, you're totally entitled to your opinion. I'm just doing a bit.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, Alex, your opinion is actually terrible. I'm sorry.
When it comes to, hey, look, when it comes to not being friends, I take that very seriously.
Okay.
I love you,
Ed.
So this first Saiyan character in One Piece. So excited about that.
Hey, it's true. Yeah, just grab her tail. She'll go right down.
Oh yeah.
Hey, don't say that. Don't say it like that. All right. Yeah, Queen, I was sort of expecting him to be a goofier character, but he's actually kind of like cool, but not in a self-conscious way, like I was talking about. He's just sort of letting it all hang out. He's very into himself and being himself, and I find that attractive in a character. Luffy, like the extent of his powers is kind of amazing when you look at wandering around like with the handcuffs on, still wrecking everything, and like I enjoy the way that everything stops when Queen shows up, even though Luffy is like they just leave him, so he just gets up and starts escaping. Like this
Good
is
point.
not a well run
facility
here.
Cut off all their appendages.
Yeah, I mean, but I think that also goes to show it's like a it's very haphazard and it's very harsh, but they're not they're not good at being jailers. They're just trying to get this whatever the work they're doing there. We don't really understand.
They're just trying to have fun, Ed. Trying to get funky.
Yeah. So I like all the patter with Queen. I like the idea of Shinobu leading the girls around, leading Nami and Robin around with her expertise. Like I feel like she's got some inner conflict there with the former ninjas that'll be something to see. Look out for. I found the appearance or the presence of the octopus concerning in the bathhouse. Like the bathhouse, I feel like I didn't really have a problem with it this week because it wasn't really presented. Well, I mean, they were getting ogled a lot, so it's still not great. But I think that they were having a very serious conversation in the bath, and all this goofy stuff is happening around them, and they sort of have to, I guess, sort of react to it. And they kept their cool, which is, I guess that's okay. But I don't know. I'm not excited about it, especially once like Sanji gets there. Maybe there will be like a whole panic or a whole like crisis in the bathhouse.
I mean, if I saw a tweet that Maddie posted saying that like, oh, well, Sanji's dreams might be crushed. He might just get a face full of balls. This is a mix. It's mixed.
That's true.
Mixed bathhouse.
That is true.
Crushed or fulfilled?
What if he just goes to like the Wano Bed Bath and Beyond? He's like, what? I just want to get some new soaps.
I just want to steal some new soap.
I'm also really interested in how like Raizo freaks the fuck out when he sees Kawamatsu. Like his eyes bulge, like not quite like a super fault face, but like it's there, and he's.
There was no sound effect. I didn't notice that until I think Alex did the babang, but there is no babang.
Yeah,
that's true.
It's supposed to be an earth-shattering babang.
Babang.
Anyway, that's it for me.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I guess so. Sanji was just saving up all his 20% coupons for Bed Bath and Beyond. This chapter, I think, presents a lot of the highs and a lot of the lows. Just generally in Wano so far. I love all of the Luffy stuff in this chapter. Every time Luffy came up, I was pumped. I loved all of the Queen stuff. It felt kind of like a Frankie introduction reprise here. I love the funky dance. I'm very excited actually to see this whole introduction in the anime. I feel like I don't know where it's gonna go, but I feel like Queen is what Senor Pink should have been a little bit, like kind of Frankie's like evil counterpart. Where he's
Queen fighting Frankie. I do like that.
Me too. He's hard on his. I don't know, hard on his sleeve, but certainly like his personality
his name's on his sleeve.
Good point. Very fair. I mean, they're very similar characters, which Senor Pink was supposed to be with Frankie, but I'm not going to get into that discussion. That's a whole separate topic. Yeah, I have to agree with Alex on the smile users. I think they've been fun when they've been introduced. What's the guy's name with the weird speech quirk that we haven't really talked too much about yet? That Zoro was friends with.
The sycophant guy.
Yeah.
Yasu.
Good seeing him again. Nothing really huge from that except the Zoro adventure thing, so that's fun. I'm very.
Oh, it just made me sorry. Just to bring up the point that Zoro and Sanji might not even meet again this arc. Like it's yeah, like I think
Yeah,
somebody
they might be setting
they're
that
the
up.
only two Straw Hats that haven't like been reacquainted,
Oh, yeah.
I guess, since
Yeah.
this whole
Hmm.
since the whole Dressrosa incident.
Well, Zoro wasn't reacquainted with, I think, any of the others, right? Because he wandered off before they went back to Odin Castle. I'm
Oh
pretty
God,
sure.
you're right.
Yeah, so Zoro just hasn't met up with any of them except Luffy. What was so the torn about the bathhouse? I feel like it's like rating the best of the worst kind of things that Oda does. I'm not a fan of the trope, but it is something that Japan certainly has, and it's a unique feature of Japan. So okay.
I think
the-
it's worth pointing out too that like Nami and Robin definitely take this whole thing in stride. Like they do
Yeah.
not seem at all like, you know, I guess put upon by it. You know, Nami's like, oh, maybe I should charge some money, but she's not like, eek, oh my God, like this is so horrible or something like that. So it does, you know, frame it in a certain light, I guess.
It's also like when in Rome, I guess. I guess everyone in
Right.
Wano has used to mix bath, I guess. But
it is. I mean, there's a lot of ukiyo-e stuff going on there. Some extremely disturbing. But I
What was
noticed Oda.
the name of the painting, Ed? Do you remember what it was called? The one that Bert
the
Cooper.
fisherman's wife.
That's the one. Yeah.
That is what's being referenced here too.
Yeah.
The dream of the fisherman's wife. That's what.
That's it.
That's what it was. Yeah. So look at that at your own discretion, not at work.
And not if you're under, the age in which
It's
you
art,
should-
Zach. Come on.
It's a piece of art. It's hanging in a museum. So I mean,
You're allowed to go to a museum if
Look.
you're under 18.
The Shape of Water won Best Picture. We can just accept this now.
That's true. Now this is mainstream. Goddamn. But Oda's also been using these scenes for exposition. He did that in Whole Cake Island as well, if you remember, in Capone's hideout. Now we're going to talk a whole bunch about stuff that's important, but kind of tangentially important. So, okay, I guess that's a better use of it. But Oda has like a really bad track record with that. Also, he's just not good with any of that. But I guess of the bath scenes, it's fine. And the Raizo Kawamatsu stuff, I'm really interested in. I think Steven dangled that pretty well. It's what is going on there? Why have we not seen him yet? And why is Raizo so shocked? I look back at the chapter, at least I think it was 920, where we have the flashback where there are all the silhouettes. I couldn't find the silhouettes of everyone, but there is the one guy with the hat, who's with them the entire time up to seeing Toki, and I think it's the only one we see other, with the band that we're already introduced to. And I'm curious if that's Kawamatsu or if there's someone else who jumped through time that we didn't see. I want to keep revisiting that chapter because more will be revealed there, I'm sure, and make sense as we move forward. So always interesting. Any other thoughts from you guys?
We did touch upon it, but I just want to reiterate. I think it's great that, it took us 70 volumes to get to the One Piece version of the Tenkaichi Budokai. And it took us 90 volumes to get to the One Piece version of, putting weights on your ankles and fists to train yourself to be stronger. That was funny when I noticed
See,
that.
DBZ fans, if you're patient, it will come.
I actually, I love that, by the way. That was a neat bit of I mean, it also goes to, it also kind of it'll make sense once Luffy can hold his own a little better against Kaido.
Absolutely.
Why he's able to do that as opposed to just being one-shotted.
And we talked about this a while ago, but Oda was trying to figure out ways for Luffy to beat Kaido because it was like kind of a conundrum, I think, to him and to us. It's like, how is he supposed to do that? So this kind of brings us closer to that, at least. It brings us in that direction. Okay, let's move on to some Piece Together.
Okay.
Hey, this is the Piece Together segment. What are you doing? Let's get to it. Let's do some emails. First one comes from Just Martin. I'm done. So he says some of. Sorry, I'm from New York. I can't do a real New York accent.
New Yorkers
What
can't
is-
do New York accents.
Yeah.
What a treat to hear Zach slip into his native accent.
That's just how I sound normally. I'd like to hide it. Okay, Just Martin says some of my favorite episodes of the podcast to listen to multiple times are the very long ranking episodes. And I am curious if there are plans to doing one again anytime soon. Well, we're getting our 10th anniversary, so I feel like we probably should do a few.
Don't we still need to do some more read-through?
No, shut up. We do. We do.
Shut up your face.
I have to,
Shut
sorry,
up
I should have
your
done.
face.
I should have done that in my native accent. Shut up. No, that doesn't sound right.
What's the matter, you?
What's the matter? There you go. Yeah, we still have to do that. I moved and it kind of ruined all my plans for everything. But
Holidays.
Zach ruined his
Holidays.
life, apparently.
yeah, I wasn't going to go there. But we'll do those soon-ish. I don't want to give an exact date because I've given up doing that. Let's go to the next question very carefully. The next one, do we have any other emails? I don't think we do. So, oh no, we have one from Katakuri Nipslip. Says,
Wow.
Dear OPP crew, a couple of weeks ago, some of you talked about not knowing the race that the Ors family belonged to. In a Vivre card pack, it states that Little Ors Jr. is a quote-unquote ancient giant. I wonder if the giants we see in the story today are new giants.
See, the problem was I forgot my Japanese.
Steven.
Yeah. Sorry, I am behind. I've been buying all of the Viva card packs, and I got the new binder set, but I have like 4 or 5 of them that I still haven't opened up because it's a little bit of a production to like clean them off and get the glue clean and everything. It's kind of annoying. So I'm a bit behind on checking out the cards.
Yeah, a few of mine got
That's
ruined.
bad. I was gonna say mine came without holes this month.
Yeah, I saw that. I was worried, and then like I saw mine, and they did have holes punched. So I'm like, what the hell was going on with that batch?
I'm really like it just ticks me off because it's just so much work to get them out without ripping them in the first place, and now I have to like take another like an another Viva card, put it on top, and kind of measure out where the holes need to be punched.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a whole thing. I'm not looking forward to doing that.
I've had a few that got ruined because of the glue, the gunk, whatever you want to. But for the most part, I haven't had too much issues.
I've had good luck with them. I just can't find the. They haven't gotten the ones from February at my Kino yet, so I might have to order them off of Amazon. But
Yeah,
I've got everything up to the February ones.
Yeah, I don't get them at our Kino, so I have to order them on Amazon.
I should point out that they did. So they scheduled, the 2 packs a month through August, and I think that gets up to like the whole Cake Island stuff, and so I wouldn't be surprised if they slow down a bit with them after that point, just because they'll have gotten through most of the characters already. So I don't know. We'll see what their plan is after that point. Or if it'll just be every now and then.
I'm running out of characters at this point.
Yeah. Although the new set does include Stussy, who is like numbered at 1,000 something. So there's still plenty of numbers.
CP0 member Stussy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, her age is a secret.
Nice.
Perfect.
Wow, that is an old reference.
Yeah,
Steven,
very deep cut.
yeah, time for some Reddit.
All right, let us begin with Natachi, who has a question. I think we actually talked about this. This chapter got me confused about hockey again. If you mentioned that he wishes he could use hockey, but hockey doesn't have anything to do with devil fruit abilities. So which is it? Is he deliberately not using hockey to train his body? Or since most of the times when he uses hockey, he uses his devil fruit abilities with it. So is the sea stone somehow suppressing his hockey as well? And someone, .coder876, also responded to that saying, I think it means that you wouldn't feel present enough to use hockey, like you'd feel too tired, which I think was kind of what we were saying. Yeah. So I think that's our best guess at this moment. Although it could also just be Oda, like, just not really thinking it through super hard.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if it doesn't affect hockey, then, like, theoretically any prisoner who could use hockey who does not have a devil fruit would be essentially unaffected by the cuffs themselves. So I don't know. It's complicated. Prince of Assassins says, recently I have been watching live reactors on YouTube go through the series from the beginning to where it currently is in the anime. A few people have reached Marineford, and when Ace's death happened, there was a reaction of, why did he keep reaching for that stupid card? This is because in the anime, they spend a lot more time with Luffy trying to grab it than in the manga, where it's clear he collapses from exhaustion and Akainu acts immediately. Are there any other scenes in the anime where the changes on paper aren't that big, but the meaning of scenes changes a lot? You guys might need to take this one.
This is
Let's
tough.
see here. So the example that he used was which? The
like the Viver card in Marineford, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought that was pretty prevalent in the manga too. That was
Ace's necklace exploded in that scene in the anime.
yeah, that was weird to me.
I think it's because Oda constantly forgets to draw that necklace, and probably the animators do too. So they're like, let's lose this stupid thing. He's dying.
On that topic, I guess there's there's like the flashback catch up for one of the whichever episode special it was, where they went straight from Luffy being like, "Ace, you're all right," and then smash cut to Akainu's fist like directly through.
That was 3D2Y.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
That,
well,
that may have been a bit of a
tone
tonal shift.
yeah.
That's hilarious.
I don't know. Like, so, I mean, I think the anime tends to sometimes, I would say, enhance certain moments in the manga, like certain big moments. I think Bink Sake is like a huge triumph, in particular. But if we're talking about like little tiny scenes, like smaller stuff, there's a scene in Marineford, like in the beginning, where some Navy grunts are sort of like trying to look to leave, just because, like, oh man, there's going to be a huge war, and they run into Akainu and he like kills them. This was much more explicit in the anime. He basically like burns them to death. Yeah, I had to go back into the manga and make sure that, like, is this a thing that they just did for the anime? Because this is pretty ballsy, and yeah, Oda did it. But it was just very like, whoa, this guy means business.
All right. Let's see. Nivers says, do you think it's possible that Makino's baby might not even be her biological child, that it's been adopted? Who knows? Maybe Ace or Whitebeard conceived a child before they died, and Garp left it with her to keep it safe like he did for Roger. P.S. To answer Brian's question, my Reddit username is not a reference to anything. It's just an anagram of my name. So thank
Take
you,
that, Brian.
Sniver.
Yes, and whoever carried Ace's baby carried it in their womb for 5 extra years.
Can you imagine Ace telling that to a woman? My mom did it.
God.
Don't complain.
Here, let me explain to you how birthing works.
How old
actually.
was Ace when he died?
21,
20?
I think. Yeah, 20. I think.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
didn't even get to sip his first beer.
You don't know that.
I mean,
It's
of
not
course I know.
American.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. You don't know that.
It's I bet he partied. That little
He's a
degenerate.
pirate. Come on.
yeah. I would say to answer the question, like I guess, given the precedents, it would be kind of thematically within character for that to be the case. But I think personally for me, I'm hoping it's just Makino she has a nice baby.
Makino is like, I could have a life, with
Yeah.
I could have a relationship with a character not involved in this story.
Not everything has to be a deep, dark secret.
Yeah. And I hope it's the case. Like, I think like a common, theory is, oh, maybe it's Shanks. Shanks's. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I'm not really banking on it.
Yeah, could be anything. Page 712 says, I have a small theory in regards to King's bounty, with Queen's bounty being 1.32 billion berries. Wouldn't it be fitting for King to have a bounty of 1.33 to parallel Zoro and Sanji's bounty rivalry, placing them at exactly 1 billion apiece higher than Zoro's and Sanji's? Plus, the way King and Queen treat each other is very reminiscent of Zoro and Sanji, so it would be pretty neat if their bounties paralleled that. Best wishes to everyone, and thank you once again for providing such a fun, informative, and enjoyable podcast. Thank you. What do you
We
think
don't know
of
the
that?
fight matchups yet.
Yeah, that's
Of
true.
course,
I think
assuming-
I think it's just more in terms of like their character relations to each other.
They have that banter going. Didn't the one
They
scene?
did, yeah.
That's not much to go off of.
Yeah, there's a lot of rivalry between officers and the villain crews of One Piece. So, but that is an interesting point, because I don't think we have any better like theory on why that specific number, the 32. I'm certainly not aware if there's a if there's a numerological hiragana thing. Although I did notice, I was trying to fit this together because we were talking about the Scorpion Man's having the 65, and when his name was revealed to be Daifu Go, well, Go at least is 5, so the 65. Although I was not able to figure out like a way for the Daifu part to sound like a 6, so still not entirely sure about that one, but I did notice the that little bit of number games. Coder876 says, if you look on page 13 in the Shonen Jump app, you can see a periscope towards the right. Do you think this is Sanji? And this is the bath scene where all of the dudes are ogling the ladies, and it is true that it in fact it is directly in front of the ninja dressed up like Hanzo. There is a like a bamboo style little breather tube there. So I don't know. I'm leaning more towards that. It's like it's like the Red Ribbon Tower. Like ninjas, they hang out in ponds and they breathe through
Murasaki
straws.
the ninja, right?
Yeah.
Muscle Tower. Yeah, the
Although if Sanji was using his stealth mode, why would he need to hide under the water with a reed?
exactly.
Right. Yeah. Definitely something going on there, though. Pencils for Life says, since Oda loves to use celebrities as character references, are there any celebrities you think would really love to discover that a manga character is based on them? And are there any celebrities you hope Oda uses for reference in the future? So who would be really stoked to be in One Piece?
Pretty wise? Or
Soldier Boy.
oh
Yeah. Fans of the series already. There's a bunch of like basketball players and football players, I think, that have come out as fans.
Yeah, that's that guy Steven. Oh god, he plays for the Thunder.
Yeah,
He's from
Adams?
Australia.
Yeah.
Steven Adams, I think his name.
Wait, so which celebrity would like to be in One Piece, or which celebrity
Right.
do you want to see in One Piece?
Both. They're two questions.
Danny
Well,
DeVito.
Jamie Lee Curtis?
Oh yeah, I think
Yeah.
she would be pretty stoked about that.
She's at least an actress, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One that I would want to see in One Piece is a character based off of Takashi Shimura. I mean, this is just me being a big weeb, but I think I would love to see him as a character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like Beat Takeshi, something like that.
Yeah, Beat Takeshi would be great too. Like just one of those well known, or Mako Kaji actually. Me and Joey joke that Charlotte Amand is based off of Mako Kaji, but I want to see like an actual Mako Kaji character.
Yeah, I feel like the direct references, like when he makes it really obvious, it's usually someone who's either retired or passed away, because it's a little awkward to have like, oh, here's this active, actor or director or something like that in the story.
Yeah. Neko Kaji is still making music, so yeah. Fun fact.
Kuni Tanaka is still alive too. He's retired, pretty much.
Yeah. Oh, I guess he is. He is still. Wait, is Kuni Tanaka still alive?
According to Wikipedia.
Oh shit! Great.
86 years old.
Damn. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he had died. That's great.
All right. Grand Reboot says, you know how Goku has the Nimbus Cloud, used to carry the power pole, the Yoibo, and had a tail to represent Sun Wukong? I was wondering, since Nami already has a cloud and the staff, do you think that Oda plans to make Nami eat a monkey devil fruit next? Oh, that's not where I was expecting it to go, but that is interesting.
No. But now I want to see her riding on Zeus with that thing.
Yeah.
That's
what I want to see.
Give her a little metal headband.
Get some.
Oh my god.
And a tail. You gotta have a tail.
And Kikuchi score. Just throw in a Kikuchi score.
Yes, please.
That sounds good. Kojigo says, something is bugging me the last few days. I noticed that around volume 67 of One Piece, Viz started to print and bind the volumes differently. The white blank area between the binding and the artwork got much smaller, and the pages got a lot more closer together. That kills the double pages. Artwork gets cut off and things can look really weird. Law was missing his mouth and nose in volume 72 because of this. Can Viz please change the way they print and bind the volumes again? One Piece has so many cool double pages, but the way they are printed right now really kills the enjoyment of it.
Printed volumes are on the way out.
Yeah, if anything.
Realistically, I mean, having encountered almost all of these chapters, I think from the point that they're discussing in digital format first, going back and looking at them in book format, even if there are issues, I don't necessarily see them because I've already seen the images.
Right.
Like, your eyes tend to gloss over those things if you've seen them properly once. I don't know. I don't know if there's if that's a. I don't know if they buy enough like to be able to like change that.
Yeah. I would not know anything about the background of like the specific way or how much they spend on the printing or whatnot. But I was going to say that Oda also makes it especially difficult recently because he's been getting more and more experimental with his 2-page spreads where like, the gutter will be on like the weirdest parts of the picture, or, it'll be like there's something actually kind of important in the middle there. But he was just sort of like, yeah, I'm going to do this. And, you don't necessarily think of it that much if you're just reading it because, you see the chapter come out digitally. But when you do see it in the book form, it really does suffer because of that. And that's before any, issues with like where exactly the printing is aligned and so on. But yeah, I don't know. I honestly have not really noticed a major difference in the gutter size on the books either. So I'm not sure, but it's a bummer to feel like you're missing stuff. Almost done here. Hockey Scooch says, I want everyone to put their theory caps on. A question is about
I don't wear hats.
Well, do your best. Brooks Devil Fruit, is it able to be found currently when Devil Fruit user dies? Their Devil Fruit spirit supposed to go to the nearest fruit. Since Brook is undead, did his Devil Fruit already leave for a new fruit, or is his Devil Fruit spirit still currently in him? Doubt Oda would include another person with that same Devil Fruit in the story, but just wondering if it was possible another person can have the Yummy Yummy no Mi. I mean, I just assume he still has the power. Like that's what all of his undead stuff is.
Yeah.
So there you go. We didn't even have to put the caps on. It's already answered. Last question. Baker Turtle 17. So with Kawamatsu being revealed this chapter, well, that's questionable. I was reminded of something that was discussed a lot back during the Zoe arc. It was theorized that there was a traitor within the Mink tribe since Jack had a Viver card for Zoe. Some suspected Pedro or Carrot, but what if it was actually Kawamatsu? It's safe to assume that Kawamatsu is an otter mink from the flashback 20 years ago, and he's currently being held prisoner now. Do you guys think that the traitor from Zoe will be addressed? And if so, do you think Kawamatsu might be the traitor? Just a thought. Let me know what you guys think.
I forgot about that, but honestly, I think if Oda wanted that to be a storyline, I think he would have established it back in Zoe.
Yeah, I agree. What do you think? What do you think about the idea of Kawamatsu being an otter mink, though, regardless of traitor?
What's the connection with
Otters are cute.
Yeah. They eat on their belly.
They're not very intimidating.
They swim in the river.
Have you seen a river otter, man? Sink its teeth into some meat.
Fuzzy.
Yeah, they're so cute.
Did you see Zootopia? Well, snap.
I have.
You know what?
Where's I don't remember the otter. Anyway,
So wait, but was there like a clue about him being an otter, or did I miss something?
Yeah, I'm lost here.
Maybe it was based on the silhouette that they were looking at, but it is worth noting too that the word for otter in Japanese is kawauso. So it's got the kawa in there because it's river, river creature.
Interesting. Okay. Well, kawa. It could just be anything that lives in the river, right?
Cowabunga.
Is that it for Reddit, Stephen?
That's it for Reddit.
And it's time to
Peace the tweet. Yeah.
What do we got?
All right. Peace the tweet time. First one comes from that one welder guy who says, if the Straw Hats were in the Office universe, which character would they be?
Wow.
I mean, Luffy's Michael Scott. I don't think that's...
Yeah, that's a good point.
Oh, Usopp is Dwight. For sure.
Zoro is Jim.
No, I thought Sanji would be Jim. He's always...
No, because Zoro messes with Sanji way more than the other way around. Like, Zoro has those subtle jabs. Although Sanji did feed him razors, so...
Stanley? Yeah,
Jinbei is definitely Stanley.
100%.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And Creed is
doing his
Brooke.
crossword.
Oh my god.
Creed.
Yeah.
So Creed. And I would say Robin is the redhead. What's her name?
Meredith?
Yeah.
Meredith just gets drunk all the time.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Nami's a bigger drinker.
She's not Angela. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Nami does drink
Aaron?
sometimes.
Oh, do you mean Ellie Kemper's character?
Oh.
I stopped watching.
No, none of them are Ellie Kemper's character. Yeah, I stopped watching season
I
5,
haven't watched The Office in a very
she
long
would
time.
be Carrot.
Yeah.
Okay. I can see that.
Any Ellie Kemper characters.
Oh shit! Hancock is Jan.
Oh
Yeah.
God. Yeah. Oh my God.
Absolutely.
That is
100%.
Jan Levinson Gould, was that her fault?
Yeah.
That's right.
Any other supporting cast?
I don't know how I had that in the back of my. I haven't watched The Office since college.
It's Ed Helms. Ed Helms' character that could also be Usopp.
Yeah,
because then you could have Dwight and Jim be Zoro and Sanji.
It's rude to make Dwight Zoro, but it's kind of.
Oh, I was gonna say Ed Helms' character could also be Brooke.
Yes.
Yeah,
you know
absolutely.
Like
the acapella singing? Yeah, definitely.
And he's like fucking goofy as shit.
What if Robin is Creed? They're both kind of like they could get
in the
dark
background.
sometimes.
That's true.
Yeah, Robin's Creed.
Robin is Creed.
Robin's Creed.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody is Pam, honestly. Maybe Chopper. Because nobody on the Straw Hat crew fits Pam.
Yeah, because Pam is kind of naive. Is that the right word?
She's just kind of. She's there. She's a
She's like, this is a job.
She's a nice.
Yeah.
She's a nice person.
Yeah.
She's Rebecca.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
actually,
next one comes.
She has
Maybe
Rebecca's
she's
good.
Carrot.
No.
Ellie Kemper's character is definitely Carrot.
Yeah,
I've only seen
yeah.
one episode with Ellie Kemper's character, and I can already.
Yeah, and if you've ever seen Kimmy Schmidt,
I'm so sorry.
I forgot the name of her in The Office.
Is it-
Do any
She
of
like
us
the
remember that?
intern or something.
Fine, let me look it up.
You don't need to do that.
Oh.
Let's move on.
Yeah, we don't need to do that.
Ghost Starch says Sanji's at the pleasure district spending that.
Aaron,
Thank you,
go
sir.
ahead.
Sanji's at the pleasure district spending that soba money. Nami's group is heading there to check on Toko, and Queen is going there too. Sanji may potentially have to go deal with both Queen and Kyoshiro for what he did to their subordinates. So, yeah.
Okay.
Archcool says,
What if Sanji just comes back and says like, "Man, I just went to go take a leak. What I miss?
Where did everyone go?
I'm not gonna go to the bathhouse now."
It's the middle of the day.
It's early.
Everybody's
Yeah.
expecting me to do it now.
Can't do it
I'll
when
just wait
everybody's
until
watching.
post arc.
Yeah. All right, go ahead.
all right, Archcool says, I found it hilarious how Sanji is surely at the bath somewhere using his invisibility. Why do people... Side note, why do people keep assuming that? What's wrong with it? Anyway, but this is the one time he could have gotten away with it without being invisible, because we learned it's a mixed bathing house. Also, how mad is Sam?
that
Kara
is
isn't
kind
there?
of funny.
Well,
We don't know how mad Sam is.
no. We'll ask
Yeah,
him.
where the hell did Carrot go?
Yeah.
Where is
Well,
she?
Well, we don't know where. Well, there Kinemon. We still have.
Oh yeah, maybe Carrot's with Kinemon.
Actually, I do want to see that scene now. Sanji go in the bathhouse. Like,
Oh no, Carrot went with Dogstorm.
Okay,
She's
yeah.
back with Dogstorm.
I'd
Yeah,
love to see
they're-
Sanji try to sneak into the bathhouse. I'm like, no, dude, it's cool. Go ahead. It's same sex bathhouse.
yeah,
Go
you
right in.
don't have to pretend you're invisible. We all see you.
He's like, oh, but like this is a big character arc for me. Like, I don't care, man. You can go in. Take that crap off.
Just act a little bit respectful. That's
Yeah.
all we're asking. A tiny little bit.
Next one comes from Sniper of My Heart, who says, did the town of Ebisu eat Zoro? Well, we haven't
Very
seen
good
him,
question.
so you never know.
That took a dark turn. Yeah, we're all
Alright,
starving
Sanji.
until we were all starving before, but now, and then they burp up a sword.
It's kind of funny that, back in Usopp's arc, Zoro was the one who made the joke about eating Usopp to the kids. So,
Yeah.
about his fair play.
Yeah.
They passed
All
out.
right. Next one comes from Winston Chan, who says, does anyone else get Obelix from Asterix and Obelix vibes from Queen?
Hey.
There you go.
Boom
right.
goes the dynamite. Or rather,
Right.
boom goes the strength potion.
Right. And finally, 91 Ryan says, it's one of the great lines of the chapter was, we can't have people ignoring the laws of physics. Right before it was
It was about the cuffs. Yeah.
Yeah, the cuffs. Yeah, and Oda, hold my beer. Anyway, all right, OPP, give me your ranking. Top 3 predictions for the next chapter.
Ugh.
That's-
Everyone dies. Everyone becomes a zombie.
My only
and
prediction is that Zoro shows up in the next chapter.
everyone
I
parties.
want that.
My prediction is Carriage says, let's all get naked and go to the bathhouse for Sam. I'm bringing back Alex's Carrot voice.
That is the best Carrot voice. We can't beat that. By the way, I want the next chapter. My chapter title prediction is this chapter is just for Sam Leach.
This is so, to go just by a chapter, like this could go anywhere.
Yeah, that's
I
so
think
unpredictable.
the one I feel strongest in is Sanji sneaking into the bathhouse like he's Repo Man.
Repo.
I think we're gonna see. I think we're gonna see Kawamatsu in the next chapter.
That's
his name, right?
My prediction is that Queen's idea is to have Luffy fight Kawamatsu to the death.
Fight to the death.
No, seriously.
I actually like that.
I know a way
That's,
to make this exciting, and
yeah.
we've been
Instead, they
introduced to-
team up and then kick his ass.
Yeah.
My not taking this question seriously prediction is that Queen should sound like Hedonism Bot.
Oh, nice. Well, I already tried to make him sound like Harvey Firestein earlier.
Yeah.
Fight to the
I
death
think it's been a while.
for my amusement.
Boys, go kill each other. I'm gonna call my mother.
You can pull over here, Jimmy.
Oh my god.
What do
that
you
was it.
mean? What do you mean his name isn't Queen? It's King. Ah, shit.
Who is that?
Harvey
That's not-
Feist.
That is not Harvey Firestein. That's another level beyond
oh,
Harvey.
no.
That was Zorak.
Zorak sounds like this jerk.
Wow, that is an amazing Zorak. Wow. Well, I wish we could just continue with Alex talking as Zorak for the rest of the episode, but we we have to end. So let's go into the round off.
Okay.
Voltar's smoking. No, I'm not.
Capital ideas, Zachy.
This has been the One Piece Podcast, episode 564, Sunday, March 10th, 2019. Thank you all for coming on the show. Please check us out on Patreon at patreon.com/One Piece Podcast if you have not. I plan on getting some extras and outtakes together. I have a lot in the vault. Ed and I also recorded the second episode of the Dragon Ball broadcast, and hopefully we'll have a few more coming down the pipe for you guys soon. But before we round off, I do want to give SungWon a huge thanks for coming on the show. Hopefully he'll be on for a manga recap soon, because we could have talked about One Piece forever and ever. So looking forward to that.
There was no signs of us stopping in our Romance Dawn segment.
Yeah, I felt bad.
We
Steven's
had to do it,
waiting. Yeah.
We had to do a hard stop. But we'll definitely have him back on the show again for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. So Steven, where can people find you?
You can follow me on Twitter at Translatosaurus, and since I haven't done an actual personal plug in a while, I might as well reiterate that in addition to following week to week on Shonen Jump or Manga Plus, you can also get not only volumes of One Piece, but also some other stuff that has big media tie-ins like Battle Angel Alita, the hardcovers of the original series, which the movie is based on. I translated those. You can check out Vinland Saga, which has an anime upcoming that looks like it's going to be really awesome. Unfortunately, it's going to be
continued employment as well.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think we're in good shape on that one, but it is, I believe the anime is going to be on Amazon, which I am not subscribed to, so I'll have to figure out something with that.
They get one good thing a season. They get Dororo this year, this season. That's really great, but that's about it.
The blue frog from Sergeant Frog.
He was a ninja. And as well as the the manga for the slime anime that people seem to like a lot. You can check that out, Reincarnated as a Slime. And some other stuff beyond that. Just look it up and have fun. I do some good series.
Alex.
Yeah, I had no idea. Sorry, not to derail the closing segment, but I had no idea you worked on the Alita one too.
I forgot. I remember you mentioned that.
I've been meaning to pick that up. You were involved with the Akira one too, right? The 30.
Yeah, I did some cleanup on the box set of Akira, but 99% of the script is the original one.
Okay, well, I'm glad I was still able to support you some way.
It's good
all
stuff.
the money goes directly to Steven.
Oh yes.
100%. Alex.
You can find me at Dude Exclamation on Twitter. Also, you can find me on Twitter at Weeb Simpsons for Simpsons shit posts every once in a while. You can also listen to me, apart from this podcast. You can listen to me on Toho Yaro, a monthly Japanese film club podcast that I do with Joey Weiser and Scott Dryman. Our new episode, Funky Forest, should be coming out hopefully as of this recording or very soon after. So keep your eye out for that. And if you want to watch Funky Forest, it's all on YouTube. So yeah, because it's insanely hard to find otherwise. Watch it on YouTube. Listen to our episode. It's a bonkers movie. And superartfight.com/merch. Buy Cute Animals on Fire, the card game I helped work on. It's super fun.
Steve.
The Funky Forest. You could follow me on Twitter, Instagram, or Tumblr. Steve Yurko is the username. You probably already are. But you could also listen to me on other podcasts. I co-host Toon Suite. It's the wrestling entrance theme podcast I do with our good friend Doctor of the SSAA podcast. Our next episode covering WWE or WWF Full Metal or WWE or WWF Volume 1. That's coming out soon. That's a good one. And I also co-host The Deep End, which is an Adult Swim podcast I do with Matthew J. of Cartoons 101. That's awesome. We just recently released an episode talking about Pilot Candidate. Don't remember that show? That's okay. Most people
Good
don't.
episode of the podcast, Steve. It was a good episode of your
Thank
podcast.
you so much.
It was. It was. I mentioned my favorite Steve is angry Steve. And he is so angry.
Yeah, I'm passionate.
Yeah, I should say
That
you're.
makes no sense.
No,
passionate
he's
critique.
yeah, he's absolutely correct about all his critique of the show. Like
And I'm not normally correct, so
that's the best kind of correct.
but yeah.
I haven't watched Pilot Candidate since it originally aired on Adult Swim, and
Me either, but I really like the music.
Yeah, that's about all I could say.
that opening
It's got a
is.
good it's got a great opening that
I'm
doesn't-
sorry. It's no. That high five is the worst high five.
The song is great.
The song
song
is
is
fine. The song is fine. But that high five is the worst high five. Ed, where could people contact us?
I am at Edward E. One Piece on Twitter. My other Twitter is Weeb Trailers, where I post old trailers that I find on DVDs.
Can you find the Pilot Candidate one soon?
Oh, I have one ripped already. It's
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's not great
Is
because
it
it doesn't actually
great?
include any audio of the dub. But it's just
Oh,
sort of a
that's-
song and
that sounds
like,
great.
a montage. Yeah, but actually, a good one to go watch would be the Sonic the Hedgehog 1996 OVA trailer that I posted.
Oh, sweet.
Fucking banger of a song, and
strange, isn't it?
it's a really well animated trailer. Anyway, you can be found at Zach_Logan on Twitter. The podcast is at OnePiecePodcast.com. That's Twitter.com, YouTube.com, and Facebook.com/OnePiecePodcast. OnePiecePodcast@gmail.com is our email address. One Piece Podcast is our Skype name. r/One Piece Podcast. That's our subreddit. You can leave us some piece together there. Please support us. Patreon.com/One Piece Podcast. Listen to the Dragon Ball broadcast when we get the next episode up.
Yep.
You can subscribe to the podcast on SoundCloud, subscribe on Google Play, subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts, or call us on our phone number. Zach?
And that phone number is 347-497-MAJI. That phone number again is 347-497-6254. Call anytime.
Anytime.
With your questions, your comments, your theories, or why your favorite headliner is headliner bullshit. God, he's just filled with it. We have a little bit of trivia. Steve, unfortunately, played his hand, so to speak, when he said, I can't remember the names of any characters in this arc.
I hate
So-
it so much. I hate
I'm not gonna ask you to name all of the super Japanesey characters because I'm not that evil. I mean, I am, but I held back. So we've done this before, but they add like 10 new ones every week. So I think it's time for a reprise, even though it probably was like a couple weeks ago. Name all the members of the Beast Pirates. So we're gonna go Ed, then Steven, then Alex, then Steve. Cool? For those who don't know how we play, you name a character. If you say the wrong name, repeat it, or can't think of one in time, you're out. Otherwise, the last one in wins. Ed, name a character of the Beast Pirates.
Kaido.
That is one. Steven.
Babarnuki.
I'll take it.
Damn it.
Alex.
King.
Yep. Steve.
Queen.
Ed.
Jack.
Okay. Now the easy ones are done. Steven.
Hold'em.
Alex.
Solitaire.
Yeah. There she is. Steve.
Speed.
Yep. You remembered her. Ed.
Shin Rummy.
You remembered her. Steven.
Sheep's head.
Yeah, there he is. Alex.
Batman.
Thought you were being facetious at first, but no, he's there. Steve.
Gazelle Man.
Our favorite. Ed.
Hanzo.
No, he's not part of the Beast Pirates.
No.
Yeah, he's a ninja. Okay.
Steven.
More like a Nanja.
Oh.
Is he in
Steven.
Namco Namja Town?
Where they
Steven.
Mouse Man.
Yep.
I was hoping
Alex.
you do like your best Scott McNeil. Yeah, Mouse Man.
Dino Brain.
Alex.
Yeah. Daifugo.
Daifugu, it's fine though. Steve.
Diaz Drake.
Yep. I was so shocked that one had not been taken. Steven.
Hawkins.
Yep. You guys picked some of the crazy ones and left some of the obvious ones. Alex.
Shit. What the fuck is that dude's name?
3 seconds.
Oh, Kiyoshiro.
Nope.
No, fuck.
Not part
That's
of the
right.
pirates, as far as we know.
His allegiance is elsewhere.
To Orochi, yeah. Or who knows? Steve.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Page 1.
Yep. So it's just Steven and Steve. The
Damn it.
Steves
Page
battle it out
Scotch.
in this final round. Yeah. Steve.
Apu.
I'll take it. We don't know for sure,
Damn it! I was gonna say Apu, but
but it seems all indications seem so. So I'll take it. Steven. We have 3 left. I think? 2, 3,
Ooh.
3.
I'm gonna say Kamijiro, aka
Yep.
Bitey Jiro.
call it big one.
Which one was that again?
That was the
It's
lion.
the lion on Holden's
Okay,
stomach.
okay.
Yeah. So we have 2 left. Steve, you need to get this one to stay in the game.
Oh shit! I just remembered one. Fuck.
A big one.
Good for
yeah.
you, champ.
There's nothing more diminutive that Steve could use than champ.
Shit.
3 seconds.
The Peter Potamus.
Okay, Steven, can you name who Steve was trying to name?
He's talking about Dobon.
Yeah, okay, so Steven wins. Can anyone name the last one?
Oh man.
We named an episode after him.
Was it a
I think.
was it a Smile Fruit user?
Yep.
Oh,
Name Mouse Man.
Yeah, we did name a new episode after him, and it's recent.
yeah.
I didn't know.
Very recent.
Oh, with the Alpaca Man.
Yep.
Alpaca.
I can't believe you forgot Alpaca Man. Which also is a good title for this episode.
Alpaca Man.
It's been 2 weeks.
Thought his name was be Alpacaroo or something. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, 2 weeks. 2 weeks, we all forget Alpaca Man, the star of the last chapter.
To Dunk. Dunk Pacino? Don't mind if I do.
Okay, that's gonna do it for this.
Jack and Jill.
That's gonna do it for this week's episode of the podcast. Next week, I believe, unless anything changes, we are going to have God's Will from Funimation on the episode, I think we will also have our first Patreon patron next week, Joe, who is friend of the show. So she should be on as well. So until then, my name is Zach.
My name is Ed.
My name is Steve.
My name is Alex.
Steven's also here. My name is Zach. Bye, everyone.
I'm left out.
Bye, everyone. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
So long.
Yeah, Mr. Nine becomes a cooler character, I think, in like the background than he was in the foreground.
I think we're talking too much about Mr. Nine. Let's move on from Mr. Nine.
No, we're not talking
any
enough.
more time spent on Mr. Nine is
Wednesday,
wasted,
isn't he?
I think, in this
They got a kid
podcast.
together. It's Monday. They got a kid together.
He's not wrong.
Yeah, that's good point.
He was originally.
Now we'll move on to our Mr. Nine segment of the podcast.
Oh God, if we had a Mr. I mean, I don't know. There are worse characters.
Go ahead. I'm
I'll
sorry.
be honest.
I've lingered too long on it.
But I feel
It's
like
okay.
Oh, and I'm talking about Mr. Nine. I feel like Mr. Nine is just boring, though. Like
Yes.
there are more characters that are more annoying. Mr. Nine is. What did he do? He was a guy.
He was
Did
just
have
some
a gun?
guy.